to you by Schlitz. Make the most of now, from the life you live to the beer you drink. Go for it. By Chrysler Corporation. See the mileage makers at your Dodge or Chrysler Plymouth dealers. By the American Express card. Don't leave home without it. And by your Sears Tire and Auto Center. Home of straight talk, good values, and satisfaction.
Arrowhead Stadium, Kansas City, Missouri. The Cleveland Browns, winners over the New York Jets last week in overtime, take on the Kansas City Chiefs. They defeated Baltimore last week 14-0. Along with Paul Maguire, I'm Stu Nahan, and we welcome you to our NBC telecast on a hot afternoon here in Kansas City. The temperature about 85 degrees. Down on the field, it's close to 100 degrees. The Cleveland Browns have won the toss. They have chosen to receive. So Randy Rich and Keith White will go deep now to receive. And doing the kicking off will be Jan Stenerud for the Kansas City Chiefs. They're the two deep men. Wright, number 89, Rich, number 24. The Chiefs, 14-0 over Baltimore last week. And the overtime game by Cleveland. 25-22 with Don Cockcroft kicking the fourth of his 4 field goals to win it in overtime. Stenerud's kick. Keith Wright. 15. Up to the 25-yard line. About a 24-yard return brought down there by Ed Beckman. So Cleveland will take over. 1st and 10 now. And the quarterback, of course, will be Brian Sipe. The Browns trying to go 2-0 early.
There's the offensive backfield with Sipe, who had a good game against New York last week. He threw 3 interceptions, though, and I know that Cleveland's going to throw the ball an awful lot today. Logan is the man that caught 6 passes for over 100 yards last week, and we'll see a lot of him today.
1st and 10, the first play of the game. Newsom in motion. Sipe on the near side. Intended for John
Peeler, who they acquired from the Oakland Raiders, is a very, very good offensive guard.
2nd down, 10 Browns. They're at their own 25-yard line. Newsom, Logan, Rucker, the receivers. Quick opener to Mike Pruitt. Gets about a yard, and that's all. First man to get to him over there was Gary Spaney, the right inside linebacker, number 59. Sylvester Hicks, number 75, also in. So it's going to be 3rd down and 9 now. There's the Kansas City defensive line. They go with a 3-4 defense, and they alternate that on alternating series. Art Still and Hicks are the ends, with the nose tackle being Don Parrish. They're your linebackers. Whitney Paul, of course, from Colorado. 3rd and 9. We've just gotten underway here at Kansas City. The 2-back split now. Greg Pruitt and Mike Pruitt. On 3rd down. Complete to Greg Pruitt. 40, 45, 50. First down, Cleveland. Play was good for about 23 yards.
And if you watch this play right from the beginning, Sipe calls an audible, and you'll catch it right here to Pruitt coming across the middle. Greg Pruitt, who picks up the first down. But watch the power in this man. Watch the people he runs through. Good football player.
Greg Pruitt last year missed by 40 yards of gaining his 4th straight 1,000-yard season. He also was their leading receiver, the Browns, 38 catches. If you look at Brian Sipe, 6-year veteran quarterback out of San Diego State. This is Mike Pruitt. The right side for 3, 2nd down and 7. And you see the middle, Don Parrish, the nose tackle, in on the tackle. He's a 2-year man. In fact, the entire defensive unit of Kansas City is only averaging about 2 or 3 years in the league. Gary Green anchors the cornerbacks. And you see Reese and Barbaro at the safeties. Gary Green had 2 interceptions for Kansas City in their 14-0 win over Baltimore last week. It is 2nd down and 6. Cleveland on the Kansas City 46. In motion is Newsom. Thrown behind Mike Pruitt. It'll be 3rd down and 6. Last week, in the win over the Jets, Sipe was 21 for 36, 302 yards, 2 touchdowns, and he was intercepted 3 times. And Mr. Sipe last year did something that even the great Otto Graham never did, completed 222 passes. That's the most. That's a Cleveland record.
On that last play, they ran a play-action pass. Greg Pruitt slipped out of the backfield, and the linebackers were already gone. Now look for him on this play.
3rd down, 6 Browns at the 46 of Kansas City. To Mike Pruitt, to the 40. He's got a first down for the Browns. Hit by Manu Maliuna. Frank Manu Maliuna, inside linebacker on the left side.
Well, I got one of the Pruitts right. Greg Pruitt went out of the backfield. Mike Pruitt is right here. He's a slip man. The linebackers are way off. They're too far off the backs, which allowed Pruitt to pick up the first down.
They needed 6. They got 8. So it's a first down to the Kansas City 38-yard line. Dom DeLeon over center out of Ohio State, now in his 8th year for Cleveland. Got Beeler and Robert E. Jackson on either side of him. Shepard and Deacon, the other tackle. Newsom is the tight end. The pitch back goes to Greg Pruitt. Fights his way across the 35 down to about the 34-yard line. Gary Green, the cornerback from Baylor, and Whitney Paul, the left side outside linebacker, come in to converge to make the stop.
And what's happening, Cleveland's showing Kansas City's 3-4 defense an altogether different look. They're putting the middle, or the tight end in the backfield. Go ahead, I'll get to it.
We want to welcome those of you who have been watching the Cincinnati-Buffalo Bills game. To our telecast here, there is no score here at Kansas City. We're just 4 minutes into the first quarter. Cleveland has picked up 3 first downs. The Sipe pass is incomplete, and it's a 3rd and a 6 coming up. The final score of that contest between Buffalo and Cincinnati was 51-17 Bengals. I beg your pardon, Buffalo. 51-17 Buffalo, a correction. 51-17 Buffalo. They've just given us a correction on that. The final score was Buffalo 51 and Cincinnati 24. 51-24 Buffalo. So they win their first. Sipe is now 2 out of 5 for 32 yards.
51 won it.
Yeah, the guy with the 51. 3rd and 6 from the 34. Screen pass to Greg Pruitt, hit immediately by Tom Howard, right side linebacker out of Texas Tech. A loss on the play, and the Brown drive is stymied for a moment.
Now you watch the screen set up and watch Greg Pruitt slide out to his right, but Thomas Howard broke through the line and made the tackle. If they block Thomas Howard, Greg Pruitt can still be running.
J.T. Smith is the lone man back there. Don Cockcroft. Johnny Evans. Cockcroft does the field goal kicking. Evans, of course, doing the punting from midfield. He hangs this one high. Near side. Into the end zone. Touchback. Kansas City will take over. 1st and 10 on their own 20-yard line. So the Browns went for 3 first downs in the drive. They started back at their own 25, and it brought down. Here's some final scores of ball games that have already been completed in this second week of the NFL season. We gave you the 51-24 score. Buffalo over Cincinnati. Washington Redskins defeated Detroit 27-24. Mike Mosley, with a field goal with 8 seconds to play, won it. Kansas City. Livingston is the quarterback. Tony Reed and Ted McKnight are the running backs. Tony Samuels is the wingback. That is Tony Reed out of Colorado. Gets a couple.
I was going to talk about Cleveland giving you weird sets. Kansas City also has a lot of weird sets. They'll go with Tony Samuels as the tight end and Henry Marshall and J.T. Smith as wide receivers. They'll also go with 3 tight ends. Now you see right there Tony Samuels. He is the wingback. He'll line up off the tight end in the backfield. That makes him an eligible receiver. He was their leading receiver in preseason.
Livingston almost picked off. It was intended for J.T. Smith, and the closest man to it was Ronnie Bolton, the left side cornerback. It'll now be 3rd down and 7.5 for Kansas City.
All right, this is when they have the wide receivers in, And Walter White last week, the tight end, did not catch a pass. In fact, they didn't even throw the ball to Walter White, and I expect they will today. Matt Herkenhoff, who anchors that offensive line, is going to have a job today with Lyle Alzado.
The Browns come in now with 5 defensive backs. They take out a linebacker on a 3rd and 7. Doing some stunning is there is Clay Matthews. Almost got to the quarterback. Diving try there by J.T. Smith. Matthews almost leveled Livingston before he threw it. J.T. Smith, North Texas State, was the intended receiver, number 86. So Bob Gruck will come in to do some punting. He made his NFL debut last week. 11 punts for that young man. Averaged 46 yards per punt, and he shanked the last 2 where he would have had over a 50-yard average.
We did that game last week, and what a job he did for the first time. He had 9 great punts. He would have been well over a 50-yard average if it wasn't for the last 2 kicks.
Gruck hits the 45, takes a Kansas City roll, and goes out of bounds somewhere around the 26-yard line. So the Browns will get the ball for the second time. We have no score. 9.5 minutes to play in the first quarter. Look at that score right there. New England 56, the New York Jets 3. Grogan threw 5 touchdown passes today. Final score, the Chicago Bears 2-0 now. They beat Minnesota, who was 1-1. Bears over the Minnesota Vikings 26-7. We gave you that score. Buffalo over Cincinnati. They really buried the Bengals, 51-24. And there's a final. Washington Mosley's field goal beat Detroit, 27-24. We've got Bell, Lindstrom, and Kramer up front now for Kansas City. Sipe out of time. Dropped by Mike Pruitt. Should have had it at the 30. Should have had it. Mato Maliuno was standing right behind him, but he should have had it. It'll be 2nd down, 10. Cleveland.
All right, we talked about the different formation that Cleveland throws at Kansas City. What happens, they put Ozzie Newsome in the backfield. There's a final, Green Bay 28, New Orleans 19. They put Ozzie Newsome in the backfield, and they put him in motion, which gets the tight end out to the outside. Now, going outside like that, he can get into his pattern quicker, and he can also block back in on the outside linebacker.
It is 2nd and 10. Cleveland, no score. 9.5 to play first quarter. Along with Paul Maguire, I'm Stu Nahan here at Arrowhead Stadium. Kansas City. Big opener for Greg Pruitt. He's got a Cleveland first down. They'll spot the ball at about the 37 or 38-yard line. Greg Pruitt, 8-year veteran from Oklahoma.
Look at DeLeon and Jackson up in that middle. They block everybody to the outside, and Pruitt cuts back in and picks up the first down. It's a good play. That play was designed to go a little bit further to the right. Pruitt saw the opening, cut back in, and picked up the first down.
Last week against the New York Jets, Pruitt, 81 yards rushing. 1st and 10 on the 38. Reggie Rucker caught the ball and then stepped out at the 48-yard line. It was Gary Green covering him. Reggie Rucker, 10-year veteran out of Boston University. So that's enough for another Cleveland first down. They pick up their 5th first down in the first quarter. Out on the West Coast, San Diego leading Oakland 7-0. Both teams were winners in their first games last week. San Diego over Seattle. They beat them big. And Oakland came back to beat Los Angeles. 1st and 10 now for the Browns at their own 48. This is Greg Pruitt to the 49-yard line. In Kansas City territory, Dave Lindstrom, defensive end, along with Jerry Reese, the strong safety, making the stop. There's a final score. Pittsburgh defeated Houston today by a score of 38-7. That's 2-0 for Pittsburgh. Houston is now 1-1.
You're going to see Cleveland, I think, attack the middle a little more than try to go wide against Kansas City. For the simple reason that they have the outside linebackers. They have 4 linebackers, 2 of them standing outside, and it's very difficult to get out around them.
2nd down, 6 on the KC 48. In motion, Newsome. Quick opener there for Greg Pruitt. Closes in a hurry as he gets to the 45. It'll be 3rd down, and they'll need 3. The stop by Mato Maliuna, a Samoan out of San Jose State, number 54, and Mike Bell, a number 1 draft choice, number 99 out of Colorado State. What Kansas City does is they play 3-men front. They go with Still, Parrish, and Hicks. Then on every alternating series, they come back with Lindstrom and Bell on the outside, and Ken Kramer comes up the middle. The Browns have converted 2 out of 3 third down situations. This is their 4th opportunity. In motion now, Rucker. Mike Pruitt. He's got the first down as he takes it down to the Kansas City 40-yard line. Jerry Reese comes up to make the hit. And Cleveland picks up another first down. That is their 5th.
Well, I talked about them going up the middle, and I think that's where you really have to beat Kansas City. You've got to go straight at them and trap them, because getting out to the outside, the pursuit is so strong by the 2 inside linebackers, plus you have the outside linebacker waiting out there. So what you have to do, if you can trap quick in the inside, trap the nose tackle, Parrish or Kramer, whoever it may be at the time, you can move it pretty well inside.
Calvin Hill is in the Kansas City Cleveland backfield now as Sipe goes back. Throws long, way down there for Rucker. He's tripped up and a penalty marker goes down. Rucker caught between 2 defenders. Tim Collier was the guy, I believe, who tripped him. It's going to be an interference call, and it'll be first down and goal to go for Cleveland inside the 10-yard line.
I don't think this was intentional, but you're going to see Collier.
Pass interference, number 44.
He tripped up Rucker right there, and it wasn't an intentional play, but he did hit him, and it's a good call by the official. There's nothing he can do about it. But that pass was very well covered, and Sipe could have thrown the ball away, but he ended up with a first down on the 9.
Still Parrish and Hicks are up front now for Kansas City as Cleveland is threatening. A first and goal to go on the 9-yard line. Calvin Hill is in there. They got a full house backfield. In motion is Newsom. Calvin Hill stopped as he gets to the line of scrimmage by Manu Maliuna. We want to welcome those of you who have been watching the Houston-Pittsburgh ball game here to Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. Along with Paul Maguire, I'm Stu Nahan. We have no score, 6:22 to go in the first quarter, but Cleveland is threatening. An interference call has given them a first and goal inside the 10. It's now second and goal.
And watch Sipe now try that. I just have the feeling he might go to the tight end. Ozzie Newsome, number 82.
Greg Pruitt back in there now, lines up. Hill comes out. The fake to Greg Pruitt. Sipe overthrows Mike Pruitt. So it's going to be third down and goal as the Kansas City defense, which blanked Baltimore last week. In fact, Kansas City hasn't given up a touchdown in their last 12 quarters. They gave up a field goal in one of their preseason games and shut out Minnesota, and then they shut out Baltimore last week, so their defense is tough.
That time I watched Ozzie Newsome come across the middle. He delayed it, came across. He thought he was open, and Thomas Howard, number 52, was standing back there saying, "No, sir, I was with you."
Third and goal. Calvin Hill in, Greg Pruitt out. Mike Pruitt, the other running back. Mike Pruitt carries. Hit and dropped as he gets to the 7-yard line. There's a penalty marker down.
Kansas City was offside, I think, Stu.
Don Parrish and Tom Howard were the 2 that got to him. But the penalty appears to be against KC, as you so indicated, Paul. So it'll probably be about third down, half the distance here. Moving inside the 5. The referee is Jerry Markbright. There's the rest of the officials. Wells, Zabato, the rookie Bomaglass. Keith Wright is in the ball game now.
Offside, number 67, defense, third down.
They got Art Still for being offside. He was the number 1 draft pick last year out of Kentucky. So it's third down and goal, and they're inside the 5. The Pruitts are the running backs for the Browns. Sipe, grabbed and dropped by Whitney Paul, fumbles the ball, and they blew the ball dead back there where he was hit.
Whitney Paul last week had a sensational game on defense for Kansas City. They blitzed their linebackers quite a bit. And watch number 53 come from the left-hand side of your screen. He doesn't take the fake of Pruitt, and he goes after Sipe. Good play by the defense. And I think they're going to kick a field goal this time.
Mr. Cockcroft, who is the most prolific most accurate field goal kicker in NFL history, 67%. Dave Logan is holding for him. 4 field goals last week for the Browns. One with a couple of seconds left to tie it, one to win it in overtime. This one is up, and Cleveland gets on the board. So, with 5:17 remaining to be played here in the first quarter at Arrowhead Stadium, it is the Cleveland Browns 3 and the Kansas City Chiefs nothing. And we'll be right back.
You've come to fly before the wind, harnessed to a wildcat, leaving the rest of the world behind. So you go for it, making the most of now, from the life you live to the beer you drink. And since 1849, the beer that makes the most out of life is Schlitz.
When you're making it beer, make it this one here. Schlitz makes it great.
Go for it.
Today, National Car Rental is one of the big 3 car rental companies. But getting there wasn't easy. Most of our customers came from the other guys. Why? Maybe it's the top condition of our cars. Maybe it's our terrific counter people.
Your car's ready, sir.
Thank you.
The other guys tell you how good they are. But if they're so good, how did we get so big? National Car Rental. Maybe we're better.
All right, an 18-yard field goal by Don Cockcroft puts the Cleveland Browns out in front. Cockcroft will kick off as Gant, Morgado go deep. 23 is Gant. Morgado is 21, along with Belton back there. The Browns drove down the field. There was an interference call, 39 yards. Those of you who have just joined us, along with Paul Maguire, I'm Stu Nahan at Arrowhead Stadium on a very warm afternoon in Kansas City. Temperature 85 degrees at game time. Down the field, it's closer to 100. And Cockcroft, the 12-year veteran from Adams State, boots it. He'll have to do it again. It'll be a 5-yard penalty.
Cockcroft said something funny on the field before the game, Stu. We're down there talking, and I said, how you doing? I see you're still hitting the ball well. He said, I am. And standing next to him was Art Modell, the owner. And he said, the only reason I told Modell, I said, why don't you quit bothering the players?
St. Louis leading the Giants 27-14. So he said about bothering the players.
Yeah. All Cockcroft said, he said, he can't understand that I can kick field goals further than I can kick off.
Baltimore was leading 17-0. Tampa Bay has closed it to 17-13, and we gave you the San Diego score over Oakland. That's the first quarter score out on the West Coast. 49ers on the strength of a field goal by Ray Wershing. 29 yards out has put the 49ers out in front of the Dallas Cowboys. For those of you who may have missed it, on Thursday night in Denver, the Los Angeles Rams beat the Denver Broncos 13-9. So we'll keep you up to date on all the scores here. Don Cockcroft. What a tremendous career he has had in the National Football League. You know, the Browns have been involved in 4 overtime games in the last 2 years, and his kicks have won 3 of them. He gets the pressure back on.
They're all down the middle.
On the 5-yard line is Gant. 10, 15, breaks 2, still going. He's to the 24-yard line. Paul Gant, a 5th-round draft choice, a rookie out of Missouri. Lawrence Johnson in to make the stop for Cleveland. So, Kansas City will have the ball for only the 2nd time in this ball game. They did not pick up a first down on their first drive.
All right, there's their offense. And that wingman we were talking about before, Tony Samuels, the man that Livingston really likes to throw the ball to. And this is when they go with the wide receiver and the tight end. Walter White, as I said before, they haven't thrown to him, and I really expect to see him throw an awful lot of balls to him today.
Kansas City, the only team in the NFL to run from the old wing T formation. The pitch back goes to Ted McKnight, his first carry of the day, and he's out to the 27-yard line. Stopped by Charlie Hall, the left side linebacker. The defense for Cleveland, you've got St. Clair, Sims, Shirk, and Alzado. What a difference Alzado has made to this Cleveland ball club. They got him, and there's the offensive line for Kansas City. Alzado last week, 3 sacks, 8 unassisted tackles. Cleveland Last year only had 31 sacks through the entire season. They already had 5 last week. In motion now is Tony Samuels. The give is to McKnight. Back up to the line of scrimmage.
Man, you were just talking about Alzado was in on a tackle. Along with Shirk. You know, you talk about Jerry Shirk, number 72, and I've said this before, and I've watched the man play for a few years. And Stu, I think he's the finest defensive tackle in the game. He does so many things well.
It's a great story yesterday in the paper about how the players on the Browns are so appreciative of it. He kind of builds your whole ball club.
Yeah.
Of Alzado, yeah.
Oh, man. That was nice.
It's 3rd and 7, Kansas City, as Livingston has to throw. In a crowd. Headed for Steve Gawkey. Broken up by Ronnie Bolton. Bolton coming back. He missed half of the year last year.
I'll tell you what. You watch number 27, Tom Darden. Watch his elbow. Right here. Where he hits him in the back of the head. You see the play? Run that back. Watch number 27, Tom Darden, come into this play. Right here. He hits him right in the back of the head with an elbow. And that should have been called.
A punting situation coming up. Kansas City has yet to pick up a first down. Keith Wright is back deep. Wright leads the AFC in kickoff returns. And Grubb kicks it away, his second punt. This one is going to be short. Inside the 40, go out of bounds at about the 35-yard line. So the Browns, for the 3rd time in this first quarter, will take over. And we have 3:30 to play left in the first quarter. And the Browns continue to lead Kansas City by a score of 3-0. And we'll be right back.
One higher mileage, Chrysler Corporation is #1 in gasoline mileage of the big 3. Now Chrysler offers a $400 rebate. Come see your Dodge or Chrysler Plymouth dealer. Make your best deal on these Chrysler and Plymouth cars, and Chrysler will top it with a $400 check sent directly to you. Get a Chrysler New Yorker, get a check. Get a Newport or Cordova, get a check. Get a Chrysler LeBaron or a Plymouth Volare. Make your best deal and get a $400 check directly from Chrysler. Get a Dodge Diplomat, get a check. Get a St. Regis, get a check. Get a Magnum, get an Aspen, get a Dodge van or a full-size pickup. Make your best deal and Chrysler will top it with a $400 check sent directly to you. Get a car, get a check. Get a truck, get a check. Get a van, get a check. Come to Dodge or Chrysler Plymouth and check it out.
Next Sunday, start your day with NFL 79. Then it's regional coverage of exciting NFL action. Telecasts include the Patriots-Bengals battle and the Oakland-Seattle clash. Check local listings for the game in your area. NBC Sports. We're proud.
Sam Rutigliano, now in his 2nd year as the head coach of the Cleveland Browns. Took them to an 8-8 record last year.
What a nice man. And there's his quarterback, Brian Sipe, who did a good job last week. And Dave Logan, as we said before, caught 6 passes for 115 yards last week.
Cleveland, their 3rd series, gained 32 yards rushing, 35 yards passing. In motion is Newsom. Sipe pitching back to Greg Pruitt. Brought down by Sylvester Hicks, the defensive end on the right side, number 75.
Now there's the classic example of what we talked about of why it's tough to run to the outside against Kansas City. Because the outside linebacker, 52, Thomas Howard, was out there, and he ran the play back into Sylvester Hicks, who got there. George Beeler, who anchors that offensive line, just didn't get out there in time.
The Browns have 6 first downs. Kansas City has none. Kansas City has gained 6 yards rushing in 2 series, nothing passing. Sipe. Long down here, way down for Lubin, and it's incomplete. 2 men were double covering there. Tim Collier and Gary Barbaro.
Collier and Barbaro, the 2 guys who are covering. Now look, you're going to see an awful lot of double coverage on a guy that caught 6 passes last week. They should. There's also double coverage on the top side on Rucker. So that means now Sipe has to either go to his 2 backs or to the tight end, Ozzie Newsome.
Sipe is 4 out of 10 passing for 35 yards. The Browns have gained 32 rushing. 2:50 to play first quarter. 3-0 Cleveland. 3rd down and 10. Great Pruitt. Look at that young man move, breaks the tackle. 45, brought down from behind inside the 40 by Jerry Reese. as Pruitt goes from his own 35 down to the 40, 25 yards on the run by Pruitt.
Well, he just runs right out of the arms of M.L. Carter. Look at the blocking downfield. He gets a clutch number 42 right here. You can't wait on this man. You got to go get him, and you can't tackle him high, because he's going to throw you on the ground. That's a strong, strong runner.
For those of you who are not familiar with the Browns, Mike Pruitt, Greg Pruitt, not related. Greg is in his 7th year. Mike, number 43, in his 4th year. Mike is 25 out of Purdue. Greg is out of Oklahoma. He's in his 7th year. He's 28. This is Mike Pruitt. Close to another first down as he takes it almost to the 30-yard line. Gary Spaney, the right inside linebacker, number 59, making the stop for Kansas City. The thing that Cleveland was worried about last week was that they gained an awful lot of yardage. The New York Jets did, and they wanted to really stop the running game of Kansas City. That was their intent, because even though they won the ball game, the Browns did, they still gave up an awful lot of yardage. It's 2nd down and 2 at the 31. Mike Pruitt, first down and then stop. Bangs inside the 20. He's down to about the 17. That's Jerry Reese again. Called upon to make the stop from his strong safety position. First down, Cleveland.
They are using these backs so well, Mike Pruitt and Greg Pruitt. This is Mike Pruitt. It's coming back to the inside. What's happening is that they're trapping and then screening off the backside pursuit. And what they're doing, the fullback, Mike Pruitt, is just cutting back against the flow.
Kansas City gave up only 165 yards rushing against Baltimore last week, but they're really being put to it here. Sipe, nobody there. A lot of pressure by Don Parrish, the nose tackle, on Sipe. Hine gets up, 6'1", 195. Young man who played his college ball, the Aztecs of San Diego State. There's an offside penalty being called against the Browns. Incidentally, San Diego State was in close by to us yesterday. They played the University of Missouri. Got beat yesterday afternoon. They were leading, I think it was 13-0 at the half, and got beat 44-15. So, referee Jerry Markbright, now in his 4th year as an NFL referee, number 9, placed the ball down and will so indicate the offside.
Offside, number 82, offense, declined, 2nd down.
2nd down, declined by Kansas City. Mark Bright lives in Skokie, Illinois. He's a sales manager.
Very nice.
You know that?
I think Sipe's kind of wondering how a 3-man rush, when he has 5 linemen to block him.
How's it going to be offside?
Yeah, and they get offside, and he also gets dumped.
We're just inside the 1-minute mark. Remaining in the first quarter, the Browns continue to lead Kansas City 3-0 on an 18-yard field goal by Cockcroft. Sipe on 2nd down. Touchdown, Cleveland! Outstanding catch to Reggie Rucker. And the big man from BU grabs it behind 2 defenders, and the Browns build up a 9-0 lead. A 17-yard touchdown pass.
Gary Barbaro, number 26, just throws up his arms afterwards because he can't believe that ball was that well thrown, but it was right there, and you see Barbaro standing back there. Rucker ran his pattern well, and Sipe just hit him right on the number. Good play.
3rd touchdown pass of the young season for Brian Sipe. Cockcroft to try the extra point effort. 44 seconds remain in the first quarter. Cockcroft's kick is up, and the Browns now lead it by 10. So the Browns have completely dominated this first quarter. 9 first downs. Kansas City yet to get a first down. 10-0 Cleveland.
I got my...
Back here at Arrowhead Stadium, Kansas City, Missouri. Closing moments of the first quarter. Paul Gann is deep as Cockcroft kick off once more. He's joined by Arnold Margado and Horace Belton. There is Cockcroft, who already has a 17-yard field goal. That is Paul Gann. And a point after touchdown for Cockcroft as the Browns go 64 yards, 7 plays, 17-yard touchdown pass, Sipe to Rucker. Cleveland home next week for our home opener against Baltimore. Short kick, fielded by Gann on the 10, 20. At the 27-yard line. He goes down in the grasp of Keith Wright, but there's a penalty marker down. There's Gann getting up amongst a group of Cleveland players. Keith Wright was on the bottom.
21 red on you.
Clipping against Kansas City. So they're not really getting anywhere at all. Arnold Morgado was one of the deep men.
21 on the clip.
Might have been the one that was the clip. San Diego leading Oakland 14-0 in the first quarter.
27-yard line. We're going to go to 13.5. What's the number?
You could hear the officials down on the field as referee Jerry Markwright marks it back, sets it down to 13, and here's the call.
Personal foul, clipping, number 21 on the run back. First down.
Nice going there, Maguire. Good call. Okay, Kansas City. Third series, first quarter, which has just 34 seconds to go. They have yet to pick up a first down and gain 6 yards rushing and nothing passing. Tony Reed. Down to about the 19-yard line. Tony Reed stopped by Dick Ambrose. Reed last year became the first Chief in 11 years to go over 1,000 yards. He had 1,053. In his first game last week against Baltimore, he gained 45.
Boy, that time, that Dick Ambrose, number 52 for Cleveland. What a play he made. They cut everything back to the inside. Charlie Hall, the linebacker, was there and moved it to the inside, and Ambrose made the play.
They may not be able to get this play off before the gun will sound at the first quarter. No, they don't. So that is the end of the first quarter here on a warm afternoon at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, Missouri. And at the end of the first quarter, the score is the Cleveland Browns 10, Kansas City nothing. We'll be right back after these messages from your local station. We are back here at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. That's Paul Maguire. I'm Stu Nahan, and we welcome you to the start of our second quarter where the Cleveland Browns have dominated the first quarter play and lead the Kansas City Chiefs by a score of 10-0. Kansas City trying to get things going here, Paul, and so far they haven't been able to do so.
Well, they're going to have to put the ball up in the air.
The first play of the second quarter will be second down 4 at the 20. Nothing there at all for Ted McKnight as he tries to go up the middle of the Cleveland line. They're right there to converge on him. Dick Ambrose, the middle linebacker, in on the tackle. McKnight last week broke one for 70 yards and a touchdown for Kansas City.
Well, if we want to do some isolation, we can just stay on Sims, Shirk, and Ambrose in that middle if Kansas City tries to persist on running the ball up the middle at him, and they're not going to do it.
Henry Marshall comes wide to the left side. It's third down 3. Got behind the defender that time, Oliver Davis. And had he hung on to it, it would have been 6 for Kansas City. That ball was 50 yards in the air. There's J.T. Smith.
Well, he gets behind Bolton and Davis, and that ball was right on his fingertips. He should have caught the ball. That's Bolton there. Number 28 is the man that was right behind him. But he clearly had everybody beat. The ball couldn't have been thrown much better.
So dropped now. There's J.T. He's frustrated. It's the hard turf. Dropped to try his third punt of the afternoon. He had 11 last week against Baltimore. Keith Wright is the lone man deep. Gets pretty good yardage out of this one. Right back in the 28. And he gets back to the 29. Did a lot of yardage, but most of it was laterally. I thought I saw a penalty marker go down after the tackles. Ed Beckman was in there to make the hit. There is a penalty marker down. There's also an injured Kansas City player down. First,
Clinton Burrell is the guy for Cleveland that they threw the flag at, and I think the man that's down is ML Carter.
Penalty's going to be against Cleveland.
But I'll tell you, I thought that was a good hit. He hit him high.
While they're examining and marking up the penalty, bring up to date on some of the baseball races going on. Carl Yastrzemski, who needs 2 hits to go to 3,000, went 0 for 3 today. Baltimore is leading Boston 13-3. Dodgers trying to knock the Reds out.
Personal foul, clipping, number 49 on the run back. First down.
They got Clinton Burrell on the clip.
All right, we're going to take a look at it here. It looked pretty good from up here. They're moving back to the left. That's not the clip. That's not the call. The call comes in right here, and ML Carter's the guy that gets hit. Watch 42. That's a good hit. I'm sorry. He hit him high, and he hit him clean, and that's a bad call.
All right. We have a timeout on the field early in the second quarter. It's 10-0 Cleveland over Kansas City.
I
can tell by the happy
coach, Kansas City, a Phi Beta Kappa from Cole College in his second year as head coach of the Kansas City Chiefs. He was an assistant in Philadelphia, Los Angeles, and Washington, and coached up the Montreal Alouettes, the 2 Grey Cup titles up there. All right, Cleveland, 1st and 10 on the 15-yard line after the clipping penalty sets him back. And all Cleveland so far, and they lead it by 10. This is Mike Pruitt. He's out, across the 25-yard line. It'll be another first down as he gains about 11 yards on the play. Gary Barbaro comes up to make the tackle from the safety spot for KC.
All right, here's the clipping again, the so-called clipping. It's not. Now, you see ML Carter, 42. Watch Clinton Burrell. He hits him high. His head is in front. His whole body's in front. Now, I can understand if he called it hitting below the waist, but he didn't even do that. That was an excellent block.
Raphael Septian has kicked the field goal late in the first quarter. San Francisco and Dallas tied at 3. San Diego leads Oakland 14-0 in the first quarter on 2 Dan Fouts touchdown passes. This is Greg Pruitt. And a tough hit by Whitney Paul. That's his second good defensive play for KC. 4-year man, played his college ball for Bill Mallory at Colorado University. Whitney Paul, 6'3", 220 pounds.
Whitney Paul did make the play, Stu, but the guy that forced it was number 31, Jerry Reese. The free safety came up and forced everything back to the inside. This is a tough, they're down 10-0, but this is a tough defense Kansas City has.
To show you how the Browns have dominated the game, 10 first downs for Cleveland, nothing yet for Kansas City. Mike Pruitt has 32 yards, Greg Pruitt has 47 yards. Sipe is 5 out of 12 for 52. Livingston has failed to hit a pass in 4 attempts. They gain a total of 12 yards. Too much time. Browns will be penalized 5. We started to give you baseball scores, and we mentioned that Yastrzemski, who needed 2 base hits to go for 3,000. Yastrzemski was 0 for 3. That game is still in
number
progress.
17, offense.
13-3 Baltimore over Boston. They've got that thing locked up. They've only lost 45 or 46 games. They led by 11 or 12 games going in. The Dodgers are trying to knock the Reds out of first place. The Reds led Houston in the National League West by a half game, and the Dodgers lead Cincinnati 3-1. The Mets are beating the Pirates 4-1. Houston is leading the Giants 4-1.
Don't you love that call? The official gives it to Sipe, number 17.
Yeah, of course.
Instead of the offense.
The fake to Greg Pruitt. Sipe to the 30.
Get out.
Sipe goes down short of the first down at the 35-yard line. He runs head into Gary Spaney, the inside linebacker out of Kansas State, and he gets about 9. So they'll spot that ball on the 35-yard line. Jim Breach out of the University of California has just kicked the field goal for Oakland to get them on the board. It's now 14-3 as we look at Sam Rutigliano, now in his second year, head coach of the Browns.
What a nice man he is.
26 years he's been coaching.
I've got this Cleveland team next week against Baltimore again, and in their home opener. I think the people in Cleveland are going to be very impressed with this football team.
Browns have been away a long time. They've had to play 4 straight games in a row, counting their last 2 preseason games, and of course last week in New York. That's Mike Pruitt hitting the middle. Close to the first down. Close to, they'll have to unpile everybody. Whitney Paul in on the tackle, along with Jerry Reese. But it's enough for the Cleveland Browns, 11th first down of the ball game. Browns have now converted 5 out of 7 for third down situations. So Cleveland has really dominated here early in the contest. 10-0 Browns. 11:20 to play in the first half.
365,
Sipe connects to Ozzie Newsome, a former All-American from Alabama, number 82. And Whitney Paul is there to make sure he goes out of bounds. So they'll bring that ball and set it up inside the 42-yard line. That'll be a pickup of 5, and it'll make it second down and 5 as we watch Ozzie Newsome.
You know, that's tough coverage for a linebacker, Whitney Paul. I'm not making excuses for him because he's just a good football player. But when the tight end just chucks him real quick, and you've got to look at him for running, for blocking you, and then slide to the outside, it's tough for the linebacker to stay with him.
Second down, 5. 11 minutes to play, second quarter. 10-0 Cleveland. 2 receivers lined up to the left side, Rucker and Newsome. And right up the middle, but enough to able Mike Pruitt. Didn't get too much, didn't get the first down. He got it across the 45 to about the 46-yard line. Dave Lindstrom, along with Kramer. They're playing that three-man front line now. It's Lindstrom, Kramer, and Mike Bell.
Now they're bringing in the first line.
Now the first line. They're alternating. Tampa Bay was down to Baltimore 17-0. And the Buccaneers have come back in the fourth quarter to take a 20-17 lead. Mike Washington intercepted the ball, returned it 53 yards for touchdown to put Tampa Bay out in front. We gave you the 2 field goals by Wershing and Deception to account for that Dallas score. Seattle trailing Miami 6-0. Bob Greasy to Nat Moore. 3-yard touchdown pass, first quarter. The pass is deflected in the air. It's caught by a Brown somewhere around the 45-yard line. I believe it was Sylvester Hicks who deflected that ball in the air. It was the right side. It was caught by a Brown.
Mike Pruitt
coming up with the ball.
That's why they put the first defensive line in.
Right.
See? Now you know why he's the coach.
How do you know? How do you know it's the first line?
Sure. They took the second line out, put the first line in, and watch this up in the air. That's Sylvester Hicks getting up in the air, knocking the ball down. Watch Mike Pruitt's effort at the end of it, though. He catches it. Well, we didn't see it. Sorry.
Evans, the punt, his second effort. Steve Gaunty is the deep man. This is Johnny Evans out of North Carolina State. And he sends Gaunty back deep. Fumbles the ball in the end zone. Falls on it. Gaunty originally played his college ball at Colorado. Got into a beef with his coach. Left school at Boulder and went to play in northern Colorado.
Penalty on the play.
There's a penalty marker on the kick. So we got a timeout. 10-0 Cleveland. And let's see now. Let's see what this penalty is going to be, first of all.
Well,
ineligible receiver downfield, possibly.
I'll tell you right now, Gaunty's coach is going to talk to him. He had him on a 10-yard line, and once you're at the 10 and the ball goes over your head, you don't back up to the end zone to catch the ball. You let it go into the end zone to get the ball on the 20.
It's a holding call against Kansas City after the punt.
But the play, Gaunty should have never touched the ball.
So the touchback, and you go back to the 10-yard line, and that's where Kansas City will have to have. They've been in
Illegal use of the
all
hands.
afternoon.
Number 35.
Illegal use of the hands.
Receiving
They
team.
got
First down.
the Chiefs for illegal use of the hands. I didn't pick up the number. Horace Belton. Now we've got a timeout on the field. 9:47 to go in the half. 10-0 Cleveland over Kansas City. Kansas City takes over first and 10. I'll get back to baseball for a minute. Carl Yastrzemski singled in the ninth inning. Red Sox are losing 13-3. We'll tell you about that Miami game over Seattle in a moment. For Yastrzemski, that's 2,999. Samuels, the wing back in there for Kansas City, trying to get something going. This is Tony Reed. And the Cleveland defense converges on him as he gets the ball out to about the 14-yard line. Lyle Alzado in to make the tackle, the 9-year man from Yankton, number 77. Now, that Seattle-Miami game, very significant in that 6-0 score, Miami. And we mentioned that there was a touchdown pass from Bob Greasy to Nat Moore.
Yeah, but the extra point, Von Schumann missed the extra point. He did the same thing in Buffalo last week, almost cost him the football game. And I wouldn't be surprised to see Garo Upremian back in Miami this coming week.
They'll find him at the tie factory. Second down and 5. You saw some of the kickers on our NFL 79 with Brian Gumbel and Tony Adamley before our telecast. Ted McKnight carries the ball just short of the first down marker. It's going to be third down, less than a yard. He gets to the 19-yard line. Alzado again and on a stop.
3 tight ends in the game.
Marshall comes out. They bring in Samuels, Beckman, and White to Kansas City. And now Mickey Sims comes back in there. Shirk goes out. Rich Dimler is in there for Cleveland on defense now. They want to get some 6'6" of him. Here goes McKnight. He's got the first down. That is the first down for Kansas City, and a big roar goes up here at Arrowhead Stadium. As Ted McKnight out of University of Minnesota Duluth carries for the first down. That's their first down, and it comes with 8:15 to play in the second quarter.
You see him go to the outside. They put in motion the tight end Beckman, and actually McKnight gets this on his own. He runs over people to get it.
So the Chiefs now trying to get back in. They're down by 10. Halfway through the second quarter. In motion is Samuels. The fake to Reed. Livingston's pass complete at the 40-yard line. Complete to J.T. Smith. First down, Kansas City. Henry Marshall was also there. That was Marshall that caught it. There were two men in the area, JT and Marshall. And it's a 20-yard gain, and it's a first down, Kansas City.
Here's the pass right on the numbers. And I'll tell you, Livingston has been throwing the ball very well today. They just haven't been catching the ball. This time Marshall picks up the first down. But on that last play, they got it. They're going to have to go to Walter White, number 88, because the guy is open.
So Livingston connects on his first pass. Another first down. It's a 20-yard play. This is Tony Reed. He's in trouble, the 44-yard line. You know something about Tony Reed? He's a young man that grew up in Japan. His father was a sergeant in the Air Force. He grew up in Japan, didn't play too much football there, and was not recruited by any college. Played at Antelope Valley Junior College a little after his father got transferred back to the States. That's a little small town outside of Los Angeles. He went to Colorado and set all kinds of rushing records there at Colorado University. Tony Reed, over 1,000 yards last year. First time in 11 years the Chiefs had a man go over 1,000. Steve Gawney comes in now for KC along with Henry Marshall as receivers. It's second down 10. Livingston's pass completed the 45-yard line to Gawney. And that'll be enough for a first down. I believe he got just across. That was about a 10.5-yard play. There's a penalty marker back down here where Livingston was throwing.
And here it is. He beats Bolton on the outside. Watch this pass. Tony Livingston is throwing the ball on the money, and these guys are now starting to catch the ball. Ambrose was also there, but he already beat Bolton. All for naught.
It's going to be a holding call, I believe, against Kansas City. Jerry Markwright talks to Charlie Hall. Left side linebacker, co-captain, marks the ball back, brings it back now inside the 35.
Holding, number 73, offense.
Bob Simmons, left guard, guilty of holding.
Simmons was holding it. We've got a great matchup on that field. Matt Herkenhoff, number 60, against Lyle Alzado, and they are really going at it.
Jack Gregory in the ball game now, defensive end for Cleveland. Left side. Second down and 20. Livingston flips it off to his back. Tony Reed. Reed is grabbed, spun around, and dropped. The penalty marker goes down. He was hit there by Dick Ambrose, and a penalty marker goes down, maybe against Clay Matthews, the other linebacker inside.
Matthews, the guy that throws the elbow. Here's the matchup we were talking about. Herkenhoff catches a shot to the head. He wins this battle against Alzado, but they're going to be going at it all day. All right, now watch when number 57 comes into the picture.
Right there.
This is what they call it for.
Clay Matthews out of USC. His dad played professional football for the 49ers some years back. Oh, it's going to be a personal foul against Cleveland. That'll give Kansas City their second
Personal
first down.
foul, number 57, defense, a blow to the head, first down.
Well, actually, he throws it, but I think he almost misses him here. What? He doesn't really catch a lot of him. He catches the shoulder pad, but the official was behind him and thought he hit him in the head. Good call. He shouldn't be throwing elbows like that. Turned this game into flag football.
Tony Samuels in now as a wingback on the far right side. Quick opener for Reed. He's inside the 40, down to the 36-yard line. Close to another first down. Charlie Hall coming up for Cleveland to make the tackle. Big close. They need about a yard. Tom Condon and Jack Rudney open the hole for it.
Cleveland did it against Kansas City with those quick traps up the middle. Kansas City's coming right back and doing it to Cleveland. They're just taking the plays out of their book and running those quick traps up the middle.
We've had 9 penalties in the ballgame so far. The Browns 4 for 40. Kansas City 5 for 69. Marv Levy trying to generate and keep this drive going. The head coach for Kansas City. 3 wingbacks are in there now. Samuels, Beckman, and White for KC. Second down, they need a yard. And a call timeout. Livingston did not like what he saw on the Cleveland defensive lineup. So with 5 minutes, 26 seconds to play in the half, Cleveland continues to lead Kansas City 10-0.
In business, the more efficiently you use your time, the more money you make.
Time is money.
So if you're spending hours dictating letters to far-off places, and hours are spent typing them,
I've got other work to do.
Kick the letter habit. Pick up your phone and give them a ring. The phone turns your time into money.
Super automotive values from Sears. The Sears 36 battery is now on sale. It's loaded with starting power and it's maintenance free. At only $37.99 with trade-in, you save $7 on Sears 36 battery. Save now on SuperGuard steel belted radios. Steel belted strength, smooth ride, radio performance, super values too. Save $40 to $76 on a set of 4. At Sears, where America shops for value.
A brutal rape, and now her mother's out for justice.
The accused has a right to a trial in 60 days. What about the victim?
Mrs. R's daughter, Wednesday, September 19th.
We pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC television network.
This is WKYC
What do you mean Livingston didn't like what
Cleveland.
he saw when he went up to the line of scrimmage?
Defensive. You remember when you played linebacker in some of those crazy lineups?
That's a long time ago.
That was a long time ago. Livingston is 2 out of 6 for 26 yards. They've used up one of their timeouts. Second down, they need a yard. In motion now goes Ed Beckman. Handoff goes to McKnight. He's got the first down for Kansas City. Carries to the 30-yard line. Oliver Davis, right cornerback. It makes the hit for Cleveland. But the Chiefs now are moving.
Well, we got a
drive back on their own 10. Here's some scores. Tampa Bay was losing to Baltimore 17 to nothing late in the first quarter. They've scored 26 points in a row. Touchdown pass by Doug Williams just a moment ago has put them out in front 26-17. That was the Gordon Jones. San Diego leading Oakland 14-3. That's in the second quarter. Dallas and San Francisco tied at 3, second quarter. First down. Livingston. Henry Marshall, the intended receiver. Tony Samuels also down there. But covering on there was Ronnie Bolton, number 28. Bolton missed most of last or half of last year. Hurt his shoulder. And
Stu, I got to say this one more time, and I'm watching the man, Walter White, number 88, and I've never seen a guy so wide open in my life. He's standing down there on the 20-yard line with absolutely nobody around him and screaming for the football, and they won't throw it to him.
You think Walter's going to make that known? He's a 5-year man out of Maryland. He'll tell Livingston, who's down his 12th year out of SMU, hey, man, throw to me. Gaunty is now in error. Wide. It's 2nd and 10. Livingston pulls the trigger and intercepted at the 10-yard line by Clarence Scott. 30. And brought down by Charles Getty. And there's the first turnover, but there's a penalty marker down. There is a penalty marker down back at the 45-yard line. Clarence Scott, who originally was a cornerback, made the transfer to safety. Let's see now. He has the interception. Holding is called.
Number 60, offense declined.
They call it on
First down.
Herkenhoff. It's decline, and Cleveland will have the football. Here's the play.
All right, now watch right in the middle of your screen. You're going to see Ambrose holding up Walter White coming across the middle right there. But Walter White gets open, and here's the play that just really thrown to Clarence Scott. The holding penalty was in the backfield. It wouldn't have made any difference anyway, except now they have the interception.
All right, timeout on the field here late in the second quarter. 10-0 Cleveland over Kansas City.
Colleen Bob just got a Plymouth Volare and a $400 check from Chrysler Corporation.
I'm pleased with the price of my Volare, but this $400 check helped me get the stereo and pay for my insurance.
Now's the time to buy. Chrysler Corporation's giving dealers big cash incentives they can pass on to you. And only Chrysler tops your deal with a $400 check. Not Ford, not GM. Come to Chrysler Plymouth. Check it out.
Meet the only Steeler with a tougher body than mine.
You're looking at one Steeler that can dish it out, and one Steeler that can take it.
Uniroyal presents the Steeler Radio. It's built tough with 2 steel belts, and it's tough to beat when you look at its price.
When it comes to keeping his feet, there's only one Steeler I can't beat.
The Uniroyal Steeler. You want a tough tire at a price that's fair? You want Uniroyal there.
On NBC's Sports World, top bowlers are out to strike it rich in the $100,000 Great and Greatest Bowling Tournament, plus coverage of Doug Jones' world record high dive attempt, all next Saturday. NBC Sports. We're proud.
Coming up next week on NBC Sports World. Check your local listings for time. Got some great bowling coming out of Irving, Texas, and a world record high dive attempt. That's next Saturday, NBC Sports World. Cleveland Browns have the football following the interception by Clarence Scott. They'll have it at their own 33-yard line. Each of the Pruitts has gained 47 yards in rushing. The Browns lead it by a score 10-0, 4.5 to go in the half. Mike Pruitt. Flag down. So is Mike Pruitt at the 30-yard line. Art still hits him there. While they mark this off, we'd like to mention that Peter Hadhazy, who is the executive vice president, general manager of the Cleveland Browns, is not seeing this game. And I think it's the first game he has missed. And there's a very, very good reason why. He's back in Cleveland. His wife, Rita, is awaiting the birth of their third child. So he's watching this one on TV. Our best wishes to Peter and to his wife, Rita. They've got 2 daughters, one for son.
Offside, number 82, offense.
Have the baby on Sunday, though.
During football.
First down.
Yeah, she could have at least waited till the middle of the week.
So the offside call. First down, 15 to go now. Cleveland. They'll move the ball back to the 27. San Diego Chargers. Interception by Woodrow Lowe. Return to 31 yards. Touchdown late in the second quarter. Chargers lead at 21-3 over Oakland. First and 15 here. 4.5 to go in the half. In motion is Newsom. The fake to Greg Pruitt. The pass is over Newsom's head. Covered down there by Jerry Reese. It'll be second down, 15. Browns, who lead it 10-0. If you joined us late, a 17-yard field goal by Cockcroft. And then the Browns went 64 yards, 7 plays with Sipe hitting Reggie Rucker on a 17-yard touchdown pass. As we look at Sam Rutigliano, head coach of the Cleveland Browns. He is only the 6th coach the Browns have had in their history since 1946. You know the other 5, Paul?
No.
Well, you know Paul, of course, Paul Brown. There was Scourge, and there was Gregg, and there was Collier, and Modulewski for 1 game. A loss. Greg Pruitt hit by Don Parrish, the nose tackle, and Art Still. Still the number 1 draft choice last year, number 67. Parrish, number 61. Those 3 guys up front, Still, Parrish, and Hicks, each now in their 2nd year. That's a young defensive line for Kansas City.
And now you're going to see Whitney Paul, number 53. This is when they really like to blitz him. He and Manamalayuna, number 54.
Good.
Thank you.
3rd and 19, Cleveland. They have the ball back on their own 24. Newsom splits wide right. Open to the other side. Sipe throw. Newsom tries to grab it again. Covered by Reese. A little overthrown. And so Cleveland will have to punt with 3:41 left in the first half. And that's Ozzie Newsom coming back. J.T. Smith will be the lone sneak man. That's J.T. out of North Texas State, 6'2", 185. Wide receiver, runs back, kicks. And that is Evans, Johnny Evans, the backup quarterback. The Browns, 2nd-year man out of North Carolina State.
You notice they got Gotti out of there, don't you?
Yeah, after that last one. Oh, big rush. But he got it away. Thomas at the 35. 40. Submerged at the 43-yard line. Evans with a good high front. Got everybody down there. Tackled by Dave Graff. Timeout, 3:32 to go in a half. And the Browns continue to lead the Chiefs 10-0 here at Arrowhead.
When it comes to clean blades, Track 2 doesn't come close.
Atra doesn't come close.
Why are thousands of Track 2 and Atra users switching to Schick Ultrex? Watch. One push pushes out soap and stubble. Your twin blades start clean, sharp, shave after shave. Look, Ultrex slides on Track 2 razors, clicks on Atra razors.
Now this is really clean shaving.
With one push cleaning, nothing comes.
Tampa Bay still continues to lead Baltimore 26-23. Baltimore shut out by Kansas City last week 13-0. Jumped off to a 17-0 lead, and the Buccaneers under John McKay have come back in the 4th quarter. Greg Landry, 67-yard touchdown pass to Brian DeRue. 2nd down, 10 here. 3.5 to go in the half. Livingston's pass off target, intended for Tony Reed. Covered by Clay Matthews. And the fans start to boo. The backup quarterback is a rookie, Steve Fuller, a #1 draft choice out of Clemson. Mike Livingston, that's his story. 2 out of 10 for 26 yards. Livingston against Baltimore last week. 9 out of 18 for 79 yards.
Well, last week they also booed Livingston. They didn't change. Levy said, why change when you're ahead? If they did change then, and Fuller comes in and they lose the game, then they're going to blame Levy for changing. Here, I think that they will make a change in the second half.
Livingston is the only quarterback they have on the staff who's got NFL experience. No flags down. Alzado comes in and hits Livingston as he throws. The ball pops up in the air. McKnight comes down with it. And it'll be a 4th down. Kansas City will retain possession. Will have to kick.
Kirkenhoff and Alzado. Alzado comes around the backside and hits Livingston. The ball pops up in the air, and the official behind him did not signal that the ball was thrown. So that would have been a fumble.
Keith Wright is the lone deep man. That's Alzado. Put the pressure on Livingston.
What a difference he's made to this team,
Oh,
Stu.
something else. Whatever they had to give up to get him, well worth it. Grubb with a punt. Wright makes a fair catch call about the 23-yard line. Runs out of bounds on the near side. Septien has kicked another field goal for Dallas late in the first half, and the Cowboys have taken a 6-3 lead over the 49ers. That's Keith Wright, who leads the AFC in kickoff returns with an average of 43 yards last week. The longest kickoff last week, he ran one back for 45 yards against the Jets. So now, Cleveland will have the football with 2:49 to go. They have 2 timeouts. The Chiefs have 2 timeouts left. The Browns have 3. And we've got Mike Bell, Ken Kramer, and Art Still, the 3-down linemen for Kansas City. Lindstrom has a bad shoulder. Has played, but they'll try to use him sparingly. Pitch back to Greg Pruitt. Wide, 40. Finally run out of bounds at the 42-yard line. Pruitt being chased over there on the far side by Jerry Reese.
Well, Thomas Howard, 52, really does his job. Watch Mike Pruitt get a block right there on Thomas Howard. He does his job to turn the play in, does not make the tackle, and does not get any backside pursuit. And I'm not taking anything away from Greg Pruitt's run because he's a super athlete. That was a good play.
Well, he gained 19 yards on that play. He's got 62 yards now in the ball game. He had 81 in his first game last week. First down, Cleveland. Big opener for Greg again, and he gets out to the 43, 44-yard line. Hit over there by Mike Bell out of Colorado State, number 99. Art Still, number 67. Oh, a gain there of 2. It'll be 2nd down and 8. Kansas City has 4 first downs in this first half. The Browns have 12. The Browns lead it 10-0. We're climbing down now to the 2-minute mark, about 18 seconds away. And there on the sidelines is Steve Fuller, the backup quarterback, rookie out of Clemson. Sipe, penalty marker down. Sipe completes the play. The catch is made by Dave Logan, hit and knocked out of bounds by Tim Collier. But there's a penalty marker back before he threw that ball.
Oh, there has to be. Let me tell you something. Henry Shepard, number 65, put Art Still on the ground. He jumped up in the air and just threw him on the ground.
Well, Shepard is 6'6", 263. Still is 6'7", 252. You got a couple of giants going at it out there. There's Shepard. Henry, a 4-year man out of SMU. He's big.
Henry got Still jumping up in the air and just threw him on the ground.
65, offense, 2nd down, 2-minute warning.
Good call, Paulie. And the 2-minute warning should be given out of both benches. It is. So we've got our 2-minute warning. And the Cleveland Browns have a 10-0 lead over Kansas City, and we'll be right back.
Still dance team on the right of your screen. Watch what Shepard does to Still. Now Still goes up in the air, and watch what he does to him. Goodbye.
Ooh.
That's your holding.
You've got some vehemence. As I mentioned, Still is 6'7", and Shepard is 6'6". Those are 2 guys you talk to very carefully.
I'll tell you, this camera crew is sensational. What a job they're doing with these pictures.
There's the 11th penalty of the ball game. 2 minutes to play in the half. 10-0 Cleveland. Got a 2nd down and 20. Swing pass left side, complete. Big hole over there. and he's down. That's Spanty. That is Cleo Miller, who's in the ball game now for Cleveland, and hit by Spanty and dropped. Cleo Miller, his first appearance. He's a 6th-year man out of Arkansas and Pine Bluff, 5'11", 214. Mike Pruitt is out, and Cleo Miller came in for Mike. There he is, number 30.
And all that Sipe did was just dump the ball off to Cleo Miller. He wasn't his intended receiver, but Kansas City dropped off so far, he couldn't hit the wide men downfield, so he just dumped the ball to Miller, and he picked up a lot of yardage.
Next week on NBC, there's the games, Miami and Minnesota. Kansas City goes to play Houston next week. Oakland, Seattle. Oh, boy. Pittsburgh kill Houston today. They're going to take on the Cardinals. The Cardinals came back to beat the Giants today. Buffalo plays at San Diego. So you go to
I'm going to be in Cleveland. I'll tell you, I'm looking forward to seeing Cleveland again, and I think that the people ought to come back out and see them, because they are good.
The Browns making their first home appearance next week against Baltimore. Played a couple of road games toward the end of the preseason. They lost the game at Detroit. Then they won at Washington. They wound up the preseason 2-2. And then last week they opened the season at the New York Jets. Won that one in overtime on a Cockcroft kick with just seconds remaining in overtime, 25-22. Young Brian Sipe got himself a 10-point lead, and he's got himself a 3rd down now at about 3. Cleo Miller and Calvin Hill are the running backs in the Cleveland backfield. Sipe hits on the far side to Willis Adams, I believe. It looked like, oh, I beg your pardon, Ozzie Newsome. Willis Adams is the Browns' #1 draft choice. For a moment, I thought he was in there, but it was Ozzie Newsome, and that was enough to give Cleveland their 13th first down. They spot the ball just shy of the 45-yard line. The clock stopped when Newsome ran out of bounds, so it's 1:45 remaining, each team with 2 timeouts remaining in the half.
And I like this kind of football because the Cleveland Browns and Brian Sipe are not satisfied with a 10-point lead. They're not going to sit on it. They want some more.
Rucker comes to the near side. Logan goes left. Sipe throws it long for Rucker. Back there's Gary Green, and he can't hang on to it. Green and Barbaro were covering Rucker, and there's a penalty marker back at the line of scrimmage. Could be a roughing, but I'm not sure.
No, it's holding against Cleveland.
Holding against Cleveland. All right. So that'll stop the clock with 1:38 remaining, and Jerry Markbright will now talk to Kansas City. The play was a 1st and 10 situation. You take the penalty, it goes back across midfield. And that's where Jerry Markbright is going to mark it. Inside the 45 in Cleveland territory.
Holding, number 65, offense.
Henry again.
First down.
Two in a row. They're going to slap Henry's hands.
Henry and Art Still having their own private little get-together down there. Discussing where's the best place for pizza. All right. Browns continue to lead the ball game by a score of 10-0. A field goal by Cockcroft, 17 yards, 17-yard pass, touchdown, Sipe to Rucker. That's the scoring. 1st and 20. Flag down. Newsome makes a grab, but there's a penalty marker back here in the defensive backfield. He was covered by Jerry Reese. It might have been a push-off. Let's not speculate.
That's Tom Kelleher running up now.
Gentleman on the right. Kelleher, the back judge, now in his 20th year official. Against Kansas City.
Well, they mark one way and then the other, which is nice. Keeps the game moving back and forth, you know.
Mm-hmm. So, Markbright. There'll be an interference call back down to the 40-yard line in Kansas City territory. Get automatic first down.
Personal foul.
Personal foul.
Unnecessary roughness. A blow to the head. Number 67, defense.
They got Art Still. Yeah. A blow to the head. I'm going to give you one guess who he gave the blow to the head to.
I think he hit old Henry Shepard in the head. we got to put the camera on these two guys.
These two guys are having some kind of a war. Shepard in his 4th year and Art Still in his 2nd year. All right, first down, Cleveland at the 40. Play action. Wide open Newsome, 25. First down, Cleveland, almost to the 20-yard line. Barbaro and Spanty make the stop, but the play was good for 25 yards.
Timeout, Cleveland.
And Cleveland quickly calls a timeout to stop the clock with 1:22. They spend their second of 3 timeouts as Sipe goes over to talk to Sam Rutigliano. Rutigliano, who was an assistant coach in the NFL under Saban, Fairbanks in New England. He was an assistant with the New York Jets under Charlie Winter, and then he was in New Orleans under Hank Stram.
And Cleveland's doing something that I thought and I hoped that Kansas City would do, and that's use their tight end, Ozzie Newsome. Last week, Logan caught all the passes. This week, he sees double coverage on the 2 wide receivers, and he's got single coverage. Really, well, it's almost double coverage, short with the linebacker, but the safety has to pick up Ozzie coming out of the back or off the line of scrimmage, and he's beating the safety, and he's open all the time, and Sipe is hitting him with the ball.
Rutigliano got a little heat from some of the newspapers in Cleveland. Even though the Browns beat the New York Jets in overtime last week, there were 3 occasions in which the Browns needed inches for a 4th down. One was from their own 35-yard line with about 7 minutes to play in the game, and Sam elected to go for it. They didn't get the 1st down, and the Jets came back to time at 19, and then they went to overtime, and Cleveland won it. Imagine heat he would have taken if Cleveland had lost the game.
Oh. Well, I believe that you have to put points on the board when you can.
1:20 to go in the half. Sipe throws it long for Newsome. Touchdown. Ozzie Newsome got behind Jerry Reese, and the Browns lead at 16-zip. The second TD pass for Mr. Sipe, his 4th of the year. That's a 20-yard touchdown throw. And the Browns have 16 points on the board. Newsome, what a nice catch.
Oh, he picked this one out of the air, beat Jerry Reese. And as we said before, he's just using his tight end very well. They want to keep double coverage on the outside. They put single coverage on Ozzie Newsome. You've got to throw the ball to him.
Dave Logan goes to 1 knee to hole for Don Cockcroft. He's already kicked the field goal and 1 point after. Almost automatic, isn't it? Last year, he only missed 1. So, the Browns, with 1:16 to go in the half, have taken themselves a 17-0 lead. Cockcroft, last year, 37 out of 40 points after touchdown.
Not too bad, is it?
No.
You got that guy in there, it's like stealing.
He came to this Cleveland ball club in the closing years of Lou Grossa. And Cockcroft was head of the job in 68. He actually won the job in 68. And a very fine young man. Don?
He's got some strong beliefs. And he feels that his religion and
who's that?
Cockcroft and his physical fitness, it just really keeps him in there. Who's that?
Okay. Cleveland will kick off to Kansas City as Gant goes back along with Belton and Morgado to receive. Gaunty is also back there. I guess he's been reinstated after he almost committed a boo-boo.
He'll be back there for kickoff returns, but he won't be back there for punt returns. Not after that last move.
Watch for Steve Fuller to possibly come in to take over. That is the possibility here. The rookie has never played 1 minute of NFL competition. He was the #1 draft choice at Clemson. And there's Cockcroft about to kick off. Got about 1 minute and 15 seconds or so. Number 51, Kansas City, Charles Jackson, a linebacker of the University of Washington. Don gets all of this one. Gaunty on the goal line. He's fast, and he's also down at about the 18-yard line, hit there by Randy Rich. And so the crowd roars as the young rookie, Steve Fuller, comes in. Fuller, a first-round draft choice, led Clemson to an 11-1 record in 1978, including that 17 victory over Ohio State. That was the game in which, the Gator Bowl game, in which Mr. Woody Hayes made his last appearance as the head coach.
Very well, he should have.
6'4", 198 pounds, Fuller. On a delayed draw to go to McKnight. Banged up there. Hit by Mickey Sims. The clock is moving. We're just inside 1 minute. They call 2 plays when they're in the huddle. So he comes back up there without another huddle. 2nd and 10. Fuller tries his first throw. Maybe. Jerry Shirk. The ball is popped loose, but they blew it dead. Jerry Shirk, who does everything at inside tackle from Oklahoma State, hits Fuller and welcomes him to the National Football League.
I said I still think he's one of the best tackles in the game. And watch Shirk. He gets through on the inside. He beats Walters, and he makes the play.
3rd down, 18.
You know, Fuller, when he got that standing ovation when he went into, these people can turn on you real quick, you know.
Yeah. Marshall comes this side. Gaunty goes right. 3rd and 18. 30 seconds to play in the half. The Browns lead at 17-zip. This is Tony Reed trying to follow a block from Rod Walters. And there wasn't any block there. He lost some more yardage.
Well, I'll tell you what, the man that you like very well, Clay Matthews, number 57, he does a job on this play. Watch number 57 at the bottom of your screen. Here's how to play linebacker. He takes on the back. Now he's going to come out and take on the tackle Walters also. Look at this. Watch what he does. He's back into play, stops it there, and watch where he ends up.
He lost
on the ground. He's underneath that pile. There he is, 57.
Clay Matthews. Good one.
That's how to play linebacker, pal.
He was a middle linebacker at USC. They moved him to the outside when he went to Cleveland. 20 seconds to go in the half, and back to punt. Keeping his end zone is dropped. No rush. Keith Wright is at midfield. 43-yard line in Cleveland territory. Missed by one. Grabbed by another, and the second man got him. M.L. Carter, a quarterback from Cal State Fullerton, and Jerry Blanton. So, Cleveland with time for one possible play here. Next Saturday on NBC, either the Reds against the Dodgers or the Houston Astros against the Giants. Going into today's action, Cincinnati had a half-game lead, but Cincinnati was losing to the Dodgers, and Houston was winning. That lead has been seesawing all week. Changed hands, I believe, 6 times in the last 10 days or 11 days. I think Cincinnati, but those fans in Houston aren't going to like that.
No, they're not. That's why I asked you.
They've got, well, the fact they've been there before. Houston's got a young ball club, but James Rodney Richards is something else.
That's it.
That's Cleo Miller. And that should be the last play of the half. As the gun goes off, and that's it. So, here at Arrowhead Stadium on a hot Sunday afternoon, that's the end of the first half. The Cleveland Browns 17, the Kansas City Chiefs nothing. So, we're just about ready to start the second half. It is warm. It was 85 degrees at game time at 3 o'clock Kansas City time. That's up here.
We were down on that field, Stu, and you said it felt like about 110.
Yeah, it was very warm. Gaunty is the deep man for Kansas City. Cockcroft will kick off. That's Steve Gaunty, a rookie, a free agent out of northern Colorado. Cleveland with all the stats and the 17-0 lead. And they kick off to the Chiefs, and here we go. Gaunty is going to not run it out. Boy, he took 2 steps like he was going to. And Steve decided that. There's a penalty marker down. There's a couple of guys mixing it up in the middle of the field out there. And a penalty marker went down. Cal Peterson for Kansas City was mixing it up.
But it's going to be against Cleveland, I think. Cal Peterson said he came to the sideline, said he got an elbow in his face.
Oh, referee Jerry Markbright.
Did you see Jerry's face when he did that? A little mad, did he?
A little unhappy.
Ripped his lips up.
Brings the ball back out to the 35-yard line.
Here he is.
Say it, Jerry.
Personal foul, number 28, defense, on the run back, an elbow to the head, first down.
Well, they got Ron Bolton, number 28. Anyway, so personal foul. We had a mess of penalties, about 13, 14 penalties. The quarterback is Steve Fuller. In motion now is Tony Samuels. Fumble! Did the quarterback get it back? We'll see. Quick reflexes by the young man from Clemson. He did.
Second down.
Second down. He lost a couple of yards on the play. Steve Fuller being put to the test. Came in there the last couple of seconds, last couple of minutes. Sacked once. Young man who played his college ball at Clemson. one of two #1 draft choices on the Kansas City Ball Club. 6'4", 198. They are believing now going to this young man to see what he can do. Complete to the 44-yard line to J.T. Smith. Not quite enough, I don't believe, for a first down. Let's see what they spot. Yep, they spotted across the 45. It'll be a first down, Kansas City. So that'll be about a 15-yard pass from Fuller to J.T. Smith. That's his first pro pass.
Well, I think if the people will stay off him a little bit and give him the encouragement, I think Fuller can do the job. He's got a strong arm, and he does hit J.T. Smith right on the numbers. Watch this pass. That ball's right there.
First and 10 at the Kansas City 46. Mike Bell was the other #1 draft choice. This is Ted McKnight. And good lateral pursuit by the Cleveland defense. Matthews coming over with Alzado and with Oliver Davis, giving good pursuit to Ted McKnight.
Can Alzado cover some ground?
Boy, can he move for his size, 6'3", 250. I told you, stick with me and I'll get your name in lights, Paul.
I know the guy on the bottom. Who's the guy next to him?
A minute and a half into the third quarter. 17-0 Cleveland. Two teams that came out of the first week of play with victories. The Chiefs now trying to get back into this one. 2nd and 9. Fuller. Complete? No, incomplete. He had it, then dropped it. Oliver Davis covering on the play. So Fuller comes back now to discuss the situation. He was the 23rd selection in the first round. They had a draft. Chiefs did have to trade away a selection to Houston to get a second pick. He was the Atlantic Coast Conference Player of the Year for 2 straight seasons, 77, 78, 11-1 with Clemson last year. Pass is batted down. And it was Mike St. Clair, 6'5", 253. There he is, who put his hands up there and batted it down, so it'll be a 4th down situation. This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Kansas City Chiefs and the National Football League is prohibited. There's Mr. Grubb back to do some punting again. And he hangs this one high. A fair catch signified, but it's over his head. Back into the end zone. The man who put his hands up, the second guy, was Keith Wright, but it was well over his head. So we've got a timeout here in the third quarter. 13:24 to go. And it's Cleveland 17, Kansas City zip.
This baby's been from Maine to Malibu, but I don't let her go nowhere without the treatment.
This is no car. This is a legend. And you better believe I give her the treatment.
STP oil treatment. Since 1964, over 500 million cans have been sold. No other brand even comes close. So do what millions do. Give your car the treatment from STP.
This sweetheart gets a treat, and this sweetheart gets the treatment.
Time to trade in for TouchTune. At your Magnavox dealer now. Trade in your old set for Magnavox TouchTune color television and save big. TouchTune television with a sharper color picture than ever before possible. And just for touching TouchTune television, you'll be handed free this official National Football League manual. It's trade in for TouchTune time. Trade and save at your Magnavox dealer now.
Next Saturday on the Game of the Week, hard-hitting George Foster and the front-running Reds take on the LA Dodgers. The Astros face the Giants. Check local listings for the game in your area. See it all on NBC Sports. We're proud.
Here's some scores. San Diego leading Oakland 21-3. They're just about ready to start the third quarter. Dan Fouts with a couple of touchdown passes and a return interception by Woodrow Lowe, 31 yards. San Francisco 49ers leading Dallas 10-6 there in the third quarter. O.J. Simpson has scored a touchdown for San Francisco late in the first half. And Miami leads Seattle 9-3 in the third quarter. Here, it's Cleveland's ball, 1st and 10 now on their own 20-yard line. Quick opener to Mike Pruitt. The 23-yard line gets 3. Manu Maliuna brings him down. You know, we had Mr. Grubb kicking away a little while ago. Bob Grubb for Kansas City. We told you earlier that he had 11 punts last week. That's a new club record for KC. Well, he's already had 6 in today's game. We've just begun the second half. He's averaging 48 yards a punt. That's Bob right there. And a story about him is that he failed 2 tryouts with the New York Jets, who drafted him out of Duke. He went to selling real estate in Newtown, Pennsylvania. That's where they found him. Ronnie Waller, director of playing personnel for Kansas City, called him up and got him the job. Beat out Andrew Zishin. This is Mike Pruitt again. To about the 28-yard line. Pruitt runs into Tom Howard, the right side linebacker, Kansas City. So it will be third down and about a yard. So it's a little bit short of a first down.
And if Grupp has to keep kicking as many times as he did in the first game and in this game, his leg may not last the whole year.
Well, he's kicked 17 punts in a game and a half. You got Still and Parrish and Kramer, along with can't have 3. There's Mike Pruitt. That's his story. In motion now is Willis Adams. He's in the ballgame for the first time.
No, sir.
And I don't think he got the first down. No, sir. The Kansas City defense was there as the effort was made by Calvin Hill, and they did not get the first down. Yes, they did. Wait, no. Yes, they did.
Boy, the people here, they're not going to believe this.
I thought he was stopped behind.
It kind of looked like it. The defensive line really got the play right off the bat. But we don't see the ball, and that's the thing you really have to be concerned with. But from that angle, you can't tell. I just didn't think that Hill got it.
It's a first down, Cleveland. They'll spot it on the 30. That's their 17th first down. Kansas City has 5. Mike Pruitt, Greg Pruitt, and Rucker in motion. Pitch back to Mike Pruitt. Pushed out by Tom Howard and Tim Collier on the far side. And now Oakland fighting back. They were down 14-0 to the Rams last week and came back to beat them. And now they were down 21-3, and it's a little closer down the third quarter. Chargers lead it by 11. That game is in San Diego. Here, we're 4 minutes into the third quarter. Cleveland leading 17-zip as a 2nd and 3 on their own 37. Mike Pruitt up the middle. Stopped short of the first down marker. Don Parrish, the nose tackle from Pittsburgh, and Gary Spenny, the inside linebacker. That's Mike Pruitt. So it's going to be third down and less than a yard.
We can see this thing from the end zone coming out. It gives you an idea of how that line charge comes out when that back's going for that hole.
Third down, less than a yard. 17-0 Cleveland.
A bunch of people.
Yes, sir. Adams is in motion, the rookie. The pitch back is to Greg Pruitt. Grabbed around the ankle by Manu Maliuna and Whitney Paul. And they did not get the first down. A good defensive play on the left side of the Kansas City defensive unit. Manu Maliuna. He is a Samoan. San Jose State. That's number 54. Getting up now. He's a cousin of Mosi Tutupu, who plays for the New England Patriots, and for Manu Tuiasosopo, that plays for Seattle. J.T. Smith is a deep man. You see this punt. That's J.T. right there. Fourth down situation. 5 minutes into the third quarter. Evans kick. J.T. watches it sail. At the 7. Almost back to the 20-yard line. So that's where Kansas City will take it over. It was Ricky Jones who brought him down there. We've got a timeout down on the field. 9 minutes, 45 seconds of play, third period. Cleveland leads at 17-zip over KC.
Take care of your car at Kmart.
All right, Kansas City with a new offensive formation. They've got 3 running backs in there, 2 tight ends, double wingback. Very unusual. And in motion, they send Belton. And Belton breaks it. He's across to the 32 or 33-yard line and gets Kansas City a first down. Tom Darden comes up from his safety position to make the hit, but Belton out of southeast Louisiana, gets the first down, gets about 12 yards. You know, they had not only had a full house backfield, but they had 2 tight ends and they had 2 wingbacks back there.
Yeah, but Tom Condon, number 65, got a great block on Oliver Davis, number 21, that really made that play open up.
Morgado comes into the ball game now as a running back. The only guy behind Fuller is McKnight. Fake reverse. Fuller missed on a head tackle on the far side over there by Mike St. Clair. And finally, Mickey Sims delivers the coup de grace. He faked the handoff to Morgado, kept it himself, to McKnight rather, and then rolled around to his right. So the young man, Tony Reed, comes in the ball game now for Kansas City as they have a 2nd and 9. 8.5 to play in the 3rd period. J.T. Smith and Henry Marshall become the wide receivers now. So they are really changing their formation. Seattle has gone in front of Miami.
Their plants have a problem.
Everything will be all right. I hate lying to him, but I haven't got...
Cleveland Browns head coach Sam Rutigliano over there walking along the sidelines. Took the Browns to an 8-8 record in his first year as head coach. Took them to an opening overtime victory over the New York Jets last week. And has his club in front 17-0 here with 7:20 to play 3rd period. Along with Paul Maguire, I'm Stu Nahan. As the Browns have a 1st and 10 on their own 39-yard line. Ryan Sipe has gone all the way. In motion, Reggie Rucker going behind the quarterback. You just saw a glimpse of it. The fake to Mike Pruitt, to Greg Pruitt. The pass, wide open. And down to the 39-yard line is Dave Logan. Logan, who caught 6 passes for 115 yards in the opener against the Jets last week, gets a first down here.
We got a play-action pass. Greg Pruitt gets a block right there on Howard. And Logan, they're finally going to him now. He's supposed to be covered right there one-on-one by Collier. Barbaro, number 26, was so deep that he just got the play off short. The pass was there, first down.
Play good for 20 yards. Now Newsom in motion. Goes to Mike Pruitt. He reps off 5 more. Gets down to the 35-yard line, hit there by Mike Bell. Defensive end on the right side of the Kansas City defensive line. He's also a youngster. He was the first draft pick of the Chiefs. They have 2 number 1s. They went for the quarterback in the 2nd pick in the 1st round. Fuller. That's Mike Bell, number 99. 6'4", 255, young man who played his college football for Colorado State. Nobody over 3 years NFL experience in this defensive unit for Kansas City. A young club building. Again, Newsom in motion on a 2nd and 5. Big pile up as they get to the 35. Again, Bell in on the tackle as Greg Pruitt tries to rip off a couple. So it'll be 3rd down. They'll need 2. And we'd like to remind you that coming up on Saturday mornings on NBC, something new in children's programming, a new series called Time Out that deals with physical fitness and health through sports. And you'll see such personalities as Merlin Olsen, Donna DeVerona, Bruce Jenner, Mike Adamley, John Neighbor, Harlem Globetrotters. That's Saturday mornings at NBC for the youngsters. 5:18 to go in the 3rd quarter. 17-0 Cleveland. 3rd and 2 on the 33. I saw some movement on the inside, so did everybody else.
Well, the man, number 91, Ken Kramer, is the guy that hit the center.
And so, Mark Bright, who's had a busy afternoon, brings it back to the 39-yard line.
Illegal procedure, number 17, offense, head bob.
Well, they said Brian Sipe did something before he got the snap.
Just watch it. Look at the picture. I don't see the head bob at all. All I see is the defensive lineman coming off the ball.
He can move his eyes, but not his head. I don't see his...
We'll save that. Take a look at it again.
In any case, instead of a 3rd and 2, it's 3rd and 7 now. That's Sipe. Sends Rucker in motion. Newsom, 20, 18-yard line. Newsom hit by Gary Barbaro, but it's a first down for the Cleveland Browns. That play was for 25 yards to Ozzie Newsome.
All right, here we'll watch it. Let's watch Sipe now. You show me the head bob. All he does now is turn his head. Now, I'll tell you right now, he didn't move his head. The only thing he did, he looked to his right, called an audible, called the play. But they got the first down anyway.
They have the first down now on the 17-yard line. Sipe is 19 out of 22 for 168 yards. He sends Keith Wright in motion this time. It is Greg Pruitt. Piled up as he gets close to the 15-yard line. Make that statistic on Sipe 13 out of 22. Yeah, he's missed about 9. 168 yards. He's thrown 2 touchdown passes, 1 to Newsome and 1 to Rucker.
How many has Newsome caught?
How many catches for Newsome? 5, including the touchdown grab.
That's moving your receivers around. Last week, Logan. This week, Newsome. Next week, Rucker.
Newsome's caught 5 for 81 yards. That's Greg Pruitt. That's his story for the afternoon. 2nd and 8. Greg Pruitt, one hand up in the air, couldn't bring it down. Well covered by the linebacker, Whitney Paul. So it'll be 3rd down and 8 for Cleveland. And Cleo Miller comes in with a play from the Cleveland bench.
No, you mentioned how young this Kansas City defense is, and only up until this game for 3 games did not give up a touchdown in 12 quarters. They've got a bright future ahead of this team. They can put some offense together.
3rd down 8. Sipe with a lot of time. Down the middle he goes. A dive and try by Rucker. He did not catch it. One of the Chiefs, that's Reese, picked it up thinking he caught it, then fumbled it. But it'll be a 4th down situation, and Cockcroft comes out to make his presence known. And while Don is doing that, here are some baseball scores. Final score. The Astros are back in first place in the National League West. They beat the Giants 4-1, while the Dodgers knocked the Reds out of first place by beating Cincinnati 3-1. Pittsburgh defeated the Mets 6-5. Montreal leads St. Louis 4-1. Pittsburgh was a game in front going in. In the East, Cockcroft is 1 out of 1. 17-yarder in the first quarter. Logan will hold from the 22.5, so it'll be a 33-yard attempt. And give Cleveland 3 more. So, with 3 minutes and 30 seconds to play here in the 3rd quarter, the Browns, adding 3 more to the scoreboard, now lead Kansas City 20-0. Goes deep to take this kick by Cockcroft. The Browns went 46 yards. 33-yard touchdown by Cockcroft. 20-0. Gaunty at the 4. 10. 20. He's got speed. 30. 40. And he's finally brought down at the 48-yard line by Keith Wright. A great run back by Steve Gaunty. He's got speed, a 50-yard kick return. Let's watch it.
Gaunty makes the play to the outside. The wedge blocks. He cuts back. And number 48 for Cleveland, Lawrence Jackson, saves the touchdown. Watch it right here. Hello. Man out of bounds, saved the touchdown.
So Gaunty, who got the job with the Chiefs as a free agent out of Northern Colorado, started his college career at the Colorado University. 1st and 10. Fuller continues to be the quarterback, and that is Tony Reed. And Jack Rudney has some words with Rich Dimler out there. Rudney, the center, is signal. Rich Dimler, the rookie, inside tackle, 5th-round draft choice of the Browns, number 92, is 6'6", 260. He comes from Bayonne, New Jersey.
I'll tell you right now, Rudney's still talking to him all the way back to the huddle.
Rich, a tough cookie.
Yeah, well, so is
Rudney.
He's a big man, you bet.
Fuller on 2nd and 8. Almost picked off right through the hands of Walter White. Walter should have had it, but he dropped it. So it'll be 3rd down and 8. Let's look at this one again.
Here's Ambrose, the middle linebacker, who's doing a good job today. He sees Walter White coming out of the backfield, off the line of scrimmage, and then strips him of the ball right there.
You think Walter hurt him?
Well, Now I've been wondering why they didn't throw the Walter White. Now I know why.
Now you know why.
Got hands like boards.
2:45 to go, third quarter. It's 3rd and 8 on the 45. The Chiefs are down by 20. Fuller. Complete to the 30-yard line to J.T. Smith. First down, Kansas City.
Kansas City today, they've been able to move the ball with the 2 wide receivers, the tight end, playing the pro set. Why they don't stay in it, I don't know. Now look at it again. Walter White goes across, cleans out, and you see J.T. Smith come underneath right there and makes the play. Just a good execution by a pro set instead of fooling around with that wing T.
J.T., a free agent, signed last year out of North Texas State. Played good for 16 yards. First down, the 7th for Kansas City. On a quick opener, on a counter play, it gets to the 27-yard line. It is Tony Reed who carries for a couple, and it'll be second down, 7.5 to go, Kansas City. We're just under the 2-minute mark. The attendance here in the third quarter. The attendance at Arrowhead Stadium, 42,181 on a hot afternoon. They had a little over almost 1,300 no-shows. Next week, Cleveland is home to Baltimore. Next week, Kansas City, after 2 here, goes to Houston. And they wrestle him to the ground again. Tony Reed looked like he was originally stopped at the 27-yard line, but Tony kept those legs going. And, of course, the Browns making their home debut next week against Baltimore. Kansas City now faced with a 3rd down situation, 6 to go. Have been able to convert only 2 out of 10. 3rd down conversion plays in this ball game.
Well, Fuller could throw the ball, and I don't know why he's on the ground. Get it up in the air where it belongs.
Minute to go, third quarter. Browns lead at 20-zip. Big rush, safety blitz. Down he goes. The big blitz by Tom Darden, and there's a penalty marker down. Tony Reed started something after the play was down. And a penalty marker is down, personal.
That'll be intentional grounding.
No foul on the play. There was a receiver in the vicinity of the pass.
Oh, he got a reprieve.
He said there was a receiver. He said there was a receiver there, Tony Reed.
Well, it was either Reed or McKnight. Now watch what happens here. Darden's got the play. He stopped. He stopped. And there's Reed.
Yeah, he's there. It's a big neighborhood, they say, you know, if there's a receiver in the neighborhood, but it's a pretty large neighborhood. 50 seconds to go in the third quarter. 20-0 Cleveland. 4th down play, and the Chiefs are going to go for it. On the 25. Fuller is back. Unloads. That is McKnight. First down, Kansas City at the 17-yard line. Got his running back coming out to the left side. Fuller, cool, very cool for a rookie on a 4th down play.
Well, that time the Browns didn't blitz. They went with a 4-man rush, and nobody gets to him. And look at this. He picks his man, McKnight, out in the flat. 1st and 10. Ambrose didn't get there.
That's young Mr. Steve Fuller getting his baptism in professional football. Came in with less than 2 minutes to go in the first half. He's 4 out of 9 for 37 yards. Hasn't got the Chiefs on the board yet, but they're getting close. This is the closest they've ever been this afternoon. Fuller, complete, and Kansas City touchdown. J.T. Smith. Woo! A 17-yard touchdown pass for the rookie from Clemson. And the Chiefs get on the board. And there he is. You got to imagine the feeling he's got right now.
And that's right. And keep in mind that they marched the whole distance on this field from the regular pro set with 2 wide receivers and a tight end. And watch this pass. He hits J.T. Smith. Good play action in the backfield. The rush is not there. That ball's right on the money. You better tackle that man.
Look at J.T. maintain his balance, too. Outstanding effort. The try for the extra point. Jan Stenerud with Fuller to hold. And the Chiefs have 7 points. So that is the last play of the third quarter. The score at the end of 3 quarters of play here. Cleveland 20, Kansas City 7.
There's a problem in this country that has cost American business billions of dollars in losses, as well as far greater human losses between man and woman, parent and child, and country. And that's the problem of people not knowing how to listen. And why should we? We haven't been taught. With all of the great education this country has to offer, we get no fundamental grounding in the thing most of us spend about half our time doing, listening. Well, as one of the world's major corporations, we at Sperry are doing something about it. We've set up extensive listening programs that Sperry employees worldwide can take part in. Sales representatives, computer engineers, and even the chairman of the board. These programs are making us better at dealing with each other. And when you do business with Sperry Univac or any of our other divisions, we think you'll find they're making us better at dealing with you.
Sperry, we understand how important it is to listen.
There are times when any investor needs security. Protection from the unknown. Low-risk investments with a solid return. We know where the best ones are.
We'll give you that address again of the Olympics. They'll get a pencil paper. We'll let you write it down momentarily. Here's the kickoff by Kansas City, down 20-7. That is Keith Wright to the 10, 50. And down he goes as Kansas City's aroused ball club now. They got 7. They want some more. J.T. Smith, who scored a touchdown. And we'll show you that TD again.
Here's the man that just made the tackle on the kickoff team. But watch this protection. Fuller gets it all. He's got plenty of time. Picks J.T. Smith going across the middle, running a simple post pattern. Touchdown. And you got a guy like that can catch the ball and then go down on the kickoff and make the tackle. You got to keep him around for a little while.
J.T. was with the Redskins for part of last year, signed as a free agent by Kansas City. It's all Cleveland, leading 20-7. Just underway here in the fourth period, along with Paul Maguire, I'm Stu Nahan, and we're coming to you from Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. With Newsom in motion, the pitch back is the great Pruitt, and the Kansas City defense is there. That is Mano Uno. The fourth-round draft pick out of San Jose State for the Chiefs comes in there. I'll never try to spell it for you, but I'll pronounce it for you. It is Mano Una. And a loss on the play of 2 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 12. That's the address to send your contributions tax deductible to U.S. Olympics, Post Office Box 1980C, Cathedral Station, Boston, Mass. Sipe fakes to Mike Pruitt. Big chase. Completes to Newsom. And Whitney Paul runs him out. Almost getting to Sipe, was Sylvester Hicks.
Boy, that was a heads-up play by both the quarterback and the tight end, Ozzie Newsom, because Sipe was trapped in the back. I hope he heard the footsteps of Sylvester Hicks, but he just dumped the ball off, and Ozzie turned around to help out. Boy, they're fired up. That defensive line, they are coming.
For the Browns, as the Chiefs, sensing they may be getting momentum in this ball game, try to come back. They send Wright in motion. Mike Pruitt try to spring it out, and it is Parrish leading the charge with Howard, along with Spenny.
What an outstanding play by Thomas Howard, number 52. He held up Greg Pruitt, contained the play, forced it to the inside, and still made the tackle.
All right, so the Browns have to punt away. That is Johnny Evans. It is J.T. Smith who caught the touchdown pass. From Fuller, deep to receive. Evans gets it away, hangs it high, and I mean it's high. J.T. dropping way back, about the 17. And look at that Cleveland Ball Club. The charge there. That was Curtis Weathers, number 87, the first man down there. And we've got a timeout on the field. 13 minutes to play in the game. The score, Cleveland 20, Kansas City 7.
Great news for your home at Sears Super Homeowner Sale.
Get super values on many items like these easy living one-coat interior paints. Flat, ceiling, and semi-gloss. They're Sears' best. Save $3 each.
Super values, too, on Craftsman Mechanics tool sets.
See that little short out and gone, and that play is going to score a touchdown.
Gaudy comes out. So does Marshall. Two tight ends are in there. Belton is in there. They've got three running backs in there. Reed, McKnight, and Belton in the Kansas City backfield. It's 1st and 10 on the 37.5-yard line. In motion, Belton to give a reverse. Reed to the 34-yard line. Gain about 4. Nick Ambrose made the hit.
Charlie Hall's having his problems. He played the play extremely well that time on the reverse. Just didn't make the tackle. That's the second time that he didn't make a tackle and 4 down.
We have 10 minutes, 48 seconds to play in a game. That's Mr. Charlie Hall, if you were just speaking about. Charlie, a 9-year veteran out of Houston, all of his career with Cleveland.
He's shaking his hands. He's mad. He'll be there.
Give you a roundup on all the scores in the NFL this afternoon. They look like a safety blitz. Fuller being chased. He throws it, and it's complete at the 28-yard line to J.T. Smith. Tremendous pressure on Fuller. There was a blitz coming on from Tom Darden, who really shot the gap. Also back there, almost making a hit, was Mike St. Clair, and the rookie scrambled, and he hit the man for 9 yards. They didn't quite get the first down. They need about a half yard. Look at this play. We got plenty of time left. Plenty of time. Cleveland doesn't have this one in the refrigerator yet. 10:25 to play in the game. Each team with 3 timeouts. 3 tight ends are in there now. They need a yard. 3rd down play. In motion is Beckman. McKnight's second effort fell forward. Let's see where they spot it. The momentum very obviously has gone over to Kansas City now. They were down 20-0. They've come back to score 20-7. They're driving.
Be a little bit short.
They started this drive in their own 16. They'll set it down. The yardage marker.
Give me some good eyes.
What do you think, kid?
He's a little short.
No. I said he made it.
He's a little short.
You got better eyes than I do.
That's why you wear glasses and I don't, pal.
All right, babe. And of course, the fans say go for it. Now, the last scoring drive by Kansas City toward the tail end of the 3rd quarter, they had a 4th and inches on about the 17-yard line. They went for it, and they subsequently scored on a TD pass. Well, they've got inches here. Morgado comes into the Kansas City backfield. McKnight comes out. Morgado, 3-year man out of Hawaii.
Just a simple quarterback sneak gets it, you know.
Big play. Morgado, first down, Kansas City. Arnold Morgado. Quarter-pound fullback out of Hawaii. And the Chiefs pick up their 13th first down.
This place is going crazy.
Wow. Cleveland trying to regroup and hold off this aroused group. Kansas City gets some points here. And there's 10 minutes to play in the game. They're only down by 13 right now. Reed and McKnight in the backfield behind the young rookie Fuller. On first down, they're coming. He stands his ground. He throws. He completes to J.T. Smith inside the 15-yard line.
You want to talk about somebody getting their lunch? J.T. Smith is just absolutely killing Bolton. And the reason he's doing it is watch this line. Look at the protection. The Browns are not getting to the quarterback. He has all the time in the world. J.T. Smith runs Bolton to the end zone and comes on back and makes the play. That's just good execution.
13 yards on the play. First down, Chiefs on the Brown 14-yard line. They've got 3 running backs in there now. Reed, McKnight, and Belton. 2 tight ends.
Now Belton will go in motion.
He'll go in motion probably to the left. Let's see. No. Wrong call by the rookie. Now he goes in motion. The give is to Belton. Turns on the speed, gets inside the 10, down to about the 9-yard line. Ridden down by Alzado. Condon gave him a heck of a block on the far side. Condon.
Also a gutsy play by the safety, Tom Darden, because he just forced the play. He stuck his head in there, and that's tough to do. When all those people are coming at you, you find out what kind of a football player you have back there when that guy comes across and takes on the guard.
All right. Second down, 6. The ball on the Brown 9. The clock, 9 minutes to play. The Browns lead it 20-7. The Chiefs trying to climb off the floor. Reed to the down Kansas City. We got ourselves a brand new ball game now. Condon gave him a heck of a block.
Oh, Stu Bob Simmons, number 73, gets a block on Ambrose, and he also knocked another guy down. What a play he made.
Let's see it
Watch
again.
the left guard, number 73. He'll pull out. Watch the block he gets in the hole. You'll see Condon out there, but watch 73. Look at this block. He took 2 people. Ambrose is one of them, and there's the touchdown. Take a look at that.
9 yards for Reed. Now the all-important extra point. Center road. Flag is down. Kick is good, but the flag is down. You know what this rookie kid has done? 10 out of 15 for 114 yards. Wait a minute. Mark Wright is talking because this is a very important extra point. If they make it, they're only 6 down. If they don't make it, there's 7. Let's see, naturally. Mark Wright indicates to us.
Personal foul, number 87, defense, unnecessary roughness, 15 yards on the kick.
All right, it's an unnecessary roughness call against Curtis Weathers, a tight end for the Browns. The kick is good. The 15 yards we marked off on the ensuing kickoff. We've got a timeout on the field. 8:52 to go in the game. It's 20-14 Cleveland.
Cards are supposed to do. 65-73. Condon Simmons. Now watch the hole that they make. Everybody blocks down. Here they go into the hole. They just blow everybody out of there. Touchdown. That's nice. That's nice. That's good football.
85-yard drive. There it is. 11 plays. Took them a little over 4 minutes to do it. So now, with 9 minutes to go in the game, it's a 6-point ball game. No effort to return the kick. Said to heck with it. That was Randy Rich. And so, let's see how this Kansas City defense, it's a young defensive ball club. San Diego now leads Oakland 30-10 as Fouts has thrown his 3rd touchdown pass of the game, and that's with 11 minutes to play in the ball game at San Diego. 30-10 Chargers over Oakland.
And Cleveland now has to go back playing the same kind of football they played in the first half. They got to start throwing the ball. That's what they came out here to do. They did it very well, and they should go back to doing it again.
Ryan Sipe trying to regenerate. Some activity here for the Browns, who at one time led it 20-0. It's 20-14. That is Cleo Miller, hit by Gary Spaney after a gain of a couple. Second down, 7. The Kansas City defense, Still, Parrish, and Hicks, and then they flip-flop and they bring in Kremer and Bell. 3-4 defense, young defensive ball club. 3 years. Nobody has more than that experience in the National Football League.
Do they have a future here?
Pruitt, Greg Pruitt is 67 yards. Mike Pruitt has gained 70. And that was, most of that was in the first half. Cleveland has done nothing in the second half. That's Rucker in motion. Sipe almost picked off. It was Ozzie Newsome, the intended receiver, and that was Gary Barbaro, who almost picked it off for Kansas City as Sipe shades his eyes. He's looking into the sun, which is to his left, to the west.
The reason he shaded his eyes, he looked out here to the left-hand side, and he saw number 34, Greg Pruitt, standing out here on the sidelines all by himself. The linebackers left him alone. And when they go back in the huddle, they're going to talk this one over again.
Mike Pruitt goes out. Calvin Hill comes in for Kansas City, for Cleveland. Miami leading Seattle now, 19-10 in the fourth quarter. Here it's 20-14 with 8 minutes to play. Cleveland. Sipe under pressure. Dave Logan and a fumble, recovered by Kansas City's Barbaro.
Well, we're going to see three great plays in this. You're going to see the catch by Logan, the hit by Howard, and the pickup by Barbaro, but most important, the tackle by Greg Pruitt, who saves the touchdown. Now take a look what happens here. The play to Logan is a beautiful catch. He goes up in the air. Howard knocks his socks off. Barbaro picks the ball up, and Pruitt right here saves the touchdown.
Kansas City has the football on the Cleveland 33-yard line. 8 minutes to play in the game. 20-14, Cleveland. But the Chiefs now trying to maintain the momentum. The rookie Fuller holds his ground, throws it long. Marshall! No, he was across the end line. Henry Marshall was there, but he was across the back line.
And you're absolutely right, Stu. It was a good call by the official, and the reason was, watch, he does not have control of the football, and that's the most important thing. When he goes up in the air, he taps the ball. Now watch the football. If we can see it, get your head out of the way. He doesn't have control of the ball as he crossed the end line. Good call by the official.
Tom Garden was the man that Marshall had beaten, going straight down. Second down, 10, Kansas City. Cleveland 33, 7:52 to go. Each team with 3 timeouts. It's a 6-point ball game. The Browns lead it by 6. Fuller flips out to the running back, Reed. And Tony inside the 30 to the 28 where Jerry Shirk makes the hit. In that Miami game against Seattle, 9 minutes to play. Greasy hit Boulash with a 7-yard touchdown. It's 19-10 Miami over Seattle. It's San Diego 30-10 over the Raiders with 10 minutes to play. And our game here, a corker. Give you all the other scores in a moment here, but there's too much going on right here.
That's right.
Marshall comes to the right side. Fuller. Wide open. He dropped the ball. Wide open was Walter White. You asked earlier why they didn't throw to Walter White, but was he looking in the sun?
It's the second time in this game he threw the ball to him, hit him in the hands, and he dropped it. Now you know why they don't throw it to him. I couldn't understand why. Now, we talked about it. Hold it right there. Now, we'll go back just a little bit. Let's take a look at it. We're going to tell you how open he was all day long, and that's the kind of coverage they've had on him. They've left him alone doing absolutely nothing. You know, it's 4th down, boys.
He caught 42 passes last year. Here's a 4th down and 6. Fuller throws. It's complete to Marshall. And let's see where they spot the ball.
First down.
It's a first down, Kansas City on the 21-yard line. A key clutch pressure pass by the rookie, Steve Fuller to Marshall.
I'll tell you, this kid found himself a home in this backfield. Look at the protection he's got. Henry Marshall runs off the corner man, Clarence Scott, and catches the ball. Clarence is the safety man, excuse me.
You know who's got to be watching this game and thinking, oh my, Peter Hadhesi. He's in Cleveland, waiting the birth of his 3rd child, saw his club take a 20-point lead, and look at this. First down play by Fuller. Plenty of time. Complete. 5-4-3. That is Grunty. First and goal to go, Kansas City.
Well, let's give some of the credit where the credit is due, and that's to the offensive line. They came out of this game, into the second half, and they said, all right, we're going to start blocking some people, and look at the protection he has. And all Fuller does now is just waits for Gotti to clear. And once he clears, the safety men and corners are so deep, there's no way they come up and make the play. First down.
That's a 17-yard play. Fuller's now 13 out of 20 for 143 yards as Marv Levy looks on. First and goal to go from the 3. 3 backs in there. This is McKnight to about the 1.5.
Got to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Don't you feel that we watched 2 separate football games?
The first half. The Chiefs had 4 first downs in the first half. They didn't pick up a first down until there were 8 minutes left in the first half. They now have 16. Cleveland had 17 first downs in the first half, and they've only had 2 in the second half. Well, that's what you say. We've seen 2 ball games here. There's McKnight's story. It is now second down and goal from inside the 2. In motion. Beckman. There goes McKnight. Touchdown, Kansas City. Rudney and Condon open the hole, the center and the right guard. And McKnight scores. It is now tied. The all-important extra point coming up now that would put Kansas City in front by a point.
Well, Simmons, Herkenhoff on that left-hand side, along with Rudney, opened the hole. And there's the touchdown. Dibbler, number 92, just didn't get across fast enough. 6 points.
All right, Fuller will hold for Stenerode. 13-year veteran puts it up, and the Chiefs have taken the lead. And Mr. Steve Fuller has put his name indelibly into the Kansas City Chief fans here. 5:30 to play in the game. Kansas City 21, Cleveland 20.
A good quarterback does his homework on and off the field. That's probably...
21-20, Kansas City. Along with Paul Maguire, I'm Stu Nahan. And wherever you may be on this Sunday afternoon watching us on NBC, we've got ourselves a heck of a ball game. Pruitt is deep with Wright. Wright takes the kick to the 10. Still on his feet at the 20. And that's about it. Jerry Blanton hit him there. Quickly, let's give you a recap of all the other NFL games that were played today. If you joined us late, Pittsburgh beat Houston 38-7. It was the New England Patriots over the New York Jets 56-3. First down for the Cleveland Browns on the 19-yard line. Now all of the momentum has gone to Kansas City. Now the defense has to hold the Browns. The Browns have to fight their way back now. They led 20-0.
He's got to go back. He's got to go back to Ozzie Newsome again.
Ryan Sipe has the Pruitts behind him. Rucker is split to the right side. Sipe rolls. Sipe throws. Intercepted on the 30-yard line by Tim Condon. Kansas City on the 25-yard line. There might have been a tip. It might have been a tip by Spanny. And Kansas City, which was down 20-0 in the third quarter, has come back.
I think you're absolutely right. I think there was a tip at the line of scrimmage to set up this interception because the ball wasn't thrown badly.
Let's see it.
Take a look here. Takes a rollout play-action pass. The ball is thrown and it's tipped right there. You see the ball start to wiggle a little bit.
Art Still, I think, got a hand on it. First down, Chiefs. They lead it by 1. 5:13 to play in the game. That is McKnight to the 20-yard line. Picks up 5.5. Second down, 4. And the Browns, Ron Bolton comes up to make the hit. We're just under 5 minutes now. No score.
Talk about a fired-up football team. I don't think there are any seats here because everybody's standing.
You know, this kid Fuller went to high school in Spartanburg, South Carolina. Graduated 820-some. He was the valedictorian. He's got the smarts as he makes his debut here.
Also has the arm.
Yes, sir. In motion, Bolton. Belton, brother. And to about the 16-yard line goes McKnight. The clock continues to move. Each team, the Chiefs on that last touchdown drive with McKnight scoring went 32 yards, 7 plays to score, and go in front 21-20. Now, with 4:10 to go in the game, it's third down and a yard.
Well, they have to get to the 15-yard line. If they touch that stripe, they've got a first down.
All right. You've got 3 tight ends in there, believe it or not. In motion is Beckman. The give is to McKnight. He's got the first down. To about the 13.5. First down, Kansas City. Fuller had not played a single down until 2 minutes to go in the half. And this young man has completed 13 out of 20 for 143 yards. Reed, Belton, and McKnight, 3 backs in there for KC now. Cleveland cannot regain a momentum as of right now. Belton, about a half yard. Jumping over to make the hit over there was Dick Ambrose, the middle linebacker, number 52. Green Bay beat New Orleans 28-19. That's the final. Tampa Bay on a field goal in overtime beat Baltimore 29-26. They're in the fourth quarter with the Chargers beating the Raiders by 20. They're in the fourth quarter. The Cowboys lead the 49ers by 6. Miami leads Seattle by 9 in the fourth quarter. Here, it's a one-point ball game. KC in front. Fuller. A dive. No, he tapped the ball. Tony Samuels. He tapped the ball. Fuller throwing as he rolled to his right.
Well, Fuller's upset with himself at the end of this, and I think the real reason he's upset is because he could have run with the ball. He might have scored running. Look when he breaks to the outside. Sinclair gets caught in the inside. When he looks out here, he could have made the first down at least. And he throws the ball into the ground.
All right. 2:25 left to play in the game.
All right, what do you run here, Coach?
There's your score. J.T. Smith, Marshall, the wide receivers. 3rd down, 9. A blitz. Fuller lifts it up, and there's nobody in the end zone. He had to throw it because the blitz was on. Making a run at him was Darden. And so it's a 4th down situation. Stenerud hits the field. They'll try to make it a 4-point lead with 2:23 to go.
On that last play, what happened was Fuller called an audible at the line of scrimmage, and the crowd is so loud here that J.T. Smith never got the audible. He just threw the ball up, and that's what he wanted to do. He read the defense well.
It was 17-0 Cleveland at the half. 2 touchdown passes, one to Newsom, one to Rucker, and a field goal. Stenerud kicks one, and the Chiefs lead it by 4. 2:19 to play in the game. Kansas City 24, Cleveland 20.
1.
If you're planning a meeting.
Play for the field goal by Stenerud, following the interception by Collier. And so, Kansas City leads at 24-21. Stenerud will kick off. Got a little over 2 minutes to play in the game. Each team has 3 timeouts. There are the deep men. Keith Wright is deep. Randy Rich is deep. And Stenerud puts it away. Wright is on the goal line. To the 10. Turns it on. Submerged at the 24-yard line, Arnold Morgado, the first man to make contact with him, along with John Smith, the rookie, wide receiver, number 88. And so, Cleveland, which had a 20-0 lead early in the 3rd quarter, they led 17-0 at the half, has seen the Chiefs roar back for 24 unanswered points under their quarterback, Steve Fuller, who replaced Livingston with a little less than 2 minutes to play in the half. All right. Each team with 3 timeouts. Sipe. Swing pass. Complete to Cleo Miller to the 30. East of the 37-yard line, and Gary Spanty makes the grab. First down, Cleveland. That's only their 3rd first down in this second half. The 2-minute warning now being given to both teams. 2 minutes to play in the game. It's Kansas City 24, Cleveland 20. They were down. They now lead it 24-20. 2 minutes to play in the game. Cleveland has the football. First and 10 on their own 37-yard line. The Browns trying to pull another miracle finish here as Sipe regroups. Sipe flips it out. Get it for Cleo Miller. Whitney Paul, the left side linebacker, helping to break it up. Stops the clock at 1:56. and it is 2nd and 10. And that is Whitney Paul, the 4-year veteran left side linebacker from Colorado.
Does Craig Pruitt have pretty good hands?
Oh, I would think so.
Well, I think he's going to
their
have
club
to
in
throw the
season.
ball to him because the man's standing over here for the 2nd time all by himself. And I think it'd be nice if they just threw it to him once in a while.
Let me just say this. He led the club in receptions last year with 38.
Well, I think they better throw the ball to him.
2nd down, 10. Sipe gets away from a linebacker. Completes to Greg Pruitt. He must have heard you. And it's Jerry Reese that knocks him out. Whitney Paul was the man that was chasing Sipe. There is Greg Pruitt. We want to welcome those of you to our game here at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. A minute 27 to go. Kansas City leads it 24-20. Cleveland has the football. They just crossed midfield as Greg Pruitt took it across to the 48-yard line. For those of you who have been watching other NFL action and those of you in New York, along with Paul Maguire, I'm Stu Nahan. And the Cleveland Browns led at the half here over Kansas City by a score of 17-0. They increased that lead to 20-0. The 17 points were garnered on a couple of touchdown throws from Sipe to Rucker and Sipe to Newsom. Cockcroft kicked 2 field goals, the second coming in the 3rd quarter, and Cleveland had a 20-0 lead. Late in the first half, with about 2 minutes to go, Marv Levy, head coach for Kansas City, inserted a rookie quarterback by the name of Steve Fuller, a number 1 draft choice out of Clemson, who had never played a single down in professional football. He came into the game, was sacked late in the first half, but he came out throwing in this second half. Did he now? And Mr. Fuller has brought the Kansas City Chiefs back. He has completed a total of 22 passes, 13 out of 22 for 143 yards, and he has brought this club back twice on 4th down plays. He was able to complete them. A couple of touchdown runs, a touchdown pass, and the Browns have taken the lead 24-20. Now Cleveland has the ball. 1st and 10. Sipe being chased. There is Greg Pruitt at the 30 to the 25, and he's brought down at the 21-yard line by Mano Maliuna. And now Cleveland coming back, and quickly the Browns call timeout to stop the clock. With 1 minute and 8 seconds to go, they still have one more after this. One more after this.
Well, I talked about that they had to throw the ball to Craig Pruitt. The thing about it is that you got to understand these are outlet passes. He is not the intended receiver. But watch Pruitt on the bottom of your screen. You'll see him come in. Sipe just dumps the ball, a little shovel pass over the linebackers, makes the reception, picks up the 1st down. They are down to the 21-yard line, and we have got some kind of football game.
Ryan Sipe has completed 18 out of 22 for 222 yards and 2 touchdowns. But the drama here has been young Steve Fuller, the young man who led Clemson to an 11-1 record last year. As we look at Sipe, the quarterback for the Browns, talking to Sam Rutigliano, the head coach of the Cleveland Browns. There is the story of Brian Sipe this afternoon. But the drama, as we mentioned, is all of this young rookie, Steve Fuller. And that 11-1 record includes that Gator Bowl victory over Ohio State, that very controversial game.
And I think Fuller would also give an awful lot of credit to his offensive line. They didn't do very much at all in the first half. The second half, it looked like a new football team.
Now the Browns have something going. They got a 1st and 10 on the 21-yard line as Sipe is back under pressure. And Sipe throws it anyway as he's going down. No, in the grasp of a tackler was called. There is a new rule in the NFL that if he's once in the grass, but he threw it anyway, it'll go as an incompleted pass. You folks watching on the East Coast will see Walt Disney's Wonderful World, the absent-minded professor, upon the completion of our NFL coverage on NBC. As we look at Marv Levy, now in his 2nd year, head coach, Kansas City Chiefs, Phi Beta Kappa from Cole, a master's in English history from Harvard. Very innovative, great organizer. Assistant for a long time, 4 different teams in the NFL and in Canada. 2nd and 10 on the 21. Sipe for Greg Pruitt. Overthrows him. They would have caught it out of bounds on this side anyway. Tom Howard, right side linebacker, going step for step. And we got a fight going on. Greg Pruitt has gotten into it with Tim Collier in the left-hand corner of the field. Greg Pruitt and Tim Collier got into it. There was double coverage on Pruitt, Collier and Howard. And quickly, the officials get in between them. Collier, four-year man from East Texas State. Pruitt in his 7th year out of Oklahoma. Now the officials have to decide. Do you throw them both out when there's so much on the line here late in the game? A reminder to you, we know we're running a little bit long, but you folks on the East Coast will see in its entirety the wonderful world of Walt Disney in color, the absent-minded professor, upon the completion of our NFL coverage on NBC. All right.
Now what you have to do, if you're going to eject one, you got to eject the other one. The only thing I don't understand is why both of these guys are fighting, why they're hitting themselves in the face mask. That's the best way I know to break your hand.
There goes Greg Pruitt. Collier's already come off the field on the near sidelines. So you throw one out, you got to throw the other, and Greg is going off. Big blow to Cleveland because there's 57 seconds to go. He's trying to argue with the official over there, Jerry Markwright, saying he hit me first or whatever. He's pleading his case. M.L. Carter has replaced Tim Collier at right side cornerback for Kansas City.
Here it comes.
Here comes Markwright's announcement.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 44, defense, number 34, offense, both after the ball was dead. The penalties offset. 3rd down.
Okay. The two guys get thrown out. No penalty, offsetting penalties. Meanwhile, there are 57 seconds left. Kansas City with a 4-point lead, but Cleveland with a 3rd and 10 on the cheap 21-yard line. Calvin Hill and Cleo Miller now in the backfield. Ozzie Newsome splits wide to the left. They've got 3 wide receivers. Rucker's in there. Logan's in there. Now, before the ball can be snapped, they respot the ball.
I'd like to see Sipe taking just a little bit of it. Don't try to get it all in one shot here. He's got 21 yards. What he really needs is the 1st down.
Back the pass goes Sipe on 3rd down. He lets it go in the end zone. A great catch in the end zone by Reggie Rucker. And Cleveland has taken the lead. 52 seconds to go in the game. And Brian Sipe throws a 21-yard touchdown pass on a 3rd down play to Reggie Rucker, his 2nd TD catch of the game, and Cleveland has regained the lead. And there is Sam Retigliano, and there is Sipe. And the Cleveland fans here at Kansas City have gone crazy.
And don't anybody go away because there's 52 seconds left to go. Kansas City still has 3 timeouts, and with Fuller in the game, what he has done so far in the second half, nothing is impossible.
All right, the try for the extra point. Browns lead it by 2. 26-24. Cockcroft gives Cleveland a 3-point lead. 52 seconds to go in the game. The score, the Cleveland Browns 27, the Kansas City Chiefs 24.
To everybody who puts in a hard day's work.
52 seconds to play to Reggie Rucker on a 3rd and 10 has put the Cleveland Browns out in front, a 76-yard drive, and the Browns have come off the floor. They led 20-0. They dropped behind 24-20. Then they came back and marched down the field. 8 plays and scored. Now they're kicking off to Kansas City. That is Steve Gaunty awaiting the kick by Don Cockcroft. The Browns have 1 timeout. Kansas City has 3. Gaunty at the 2. To the 15. To the 17-yard line. That used 7 seconds, 45 seconds to go. A reminder to some of our youngsters and viewers, regular viewers of the wonderful world of Walt Disney. We know we're running a little bit long because of the ball game, but you will be able to see in its entirety, in color, the wonderful world of Walt Disney. Tonight's feature of the absent-minded professor in its entirety upon the completion of our NFL coverage on NBC. That's for you folks on the East Coast. All right. 45 seconds to go in the game. Steve Fuller, the rookie from Clemson. Flips one out here. It's low. Intended for McKnight. Second down, 10, Kansas City. That took 4 seconds. 41 seconds left to go. Second and 10 on the 17-yard line. Along with Paul Maguire, I'm Stu Nahan, and we have had one whale of a football game here at Arrowhead Stadium. The Browns had won it in overtime over the Jets last week, 25-22. The Chiefs had shut out Baltimore 14-0. It had been all Cleveland in the first half. And then it was all Kansas City until Cleveland regained the lead here a few seconds ago. Fuller's throw, complete, and stepping out of bounds is McKnight to about the 23-yard line, short of a first down.
What's happening in Cleveland right now, they're in a prevent defense, and the way they run a prevent defense is a little bit different than most people. They use 6 defensive backs, 1 linebacker, and 4 men rushing up front. And what's happening is you're going to see McKnight and Reed come out of the backfield, and Fuller will just dump the ball off. Those guys will be open. They'll pick up 4 or 5 yards, but it will eat up the clock. That's the only problem with it.
They've got 5 backs in there now. 3rd and 4. Big rush. The kid is going to be in trouble down at the 13-yard line. Jerry Shirk, the 10-year veteran defensive tackle from Oklahoma State, was there on the key play, number 72. You got a hand from Mike Sinclair. And now we've got a timeout called by the Kansas City Chiefs to stop the clock with 32 seconds. They've got it 4th down, 13 to go, back on their own 14-yard line. A desperation play here. So it is 27-24. 27-24 is the score. The Cleveland Browns regaining the lead with 52 seconds to go as young Steve Fuller, who has made his debut as an NFL quarterback, talks to Marv Levy, his head coach, on the sidelines. And whether Kansas City can come back or not, this young man has made his presence known. He was 11-1 with Clemson last year, including that game, Woody Hayes' last game that he coached, that Gator Bowl game, in which Clemson beat Ohio State 17-15. And this kid has come along. He's completed 13 out of 24 for 149 yards.
And you can believe he'll be the starting quarterback come next week.
All right, we want to welcome those of you who have been... Here we go. It is 4th down, 13 to go. Big play for Fuller. A big rush on Fuller being chased. He looks. He puts it up in the air. A diving, a great leap by Henry Marshall, and he couldn't quite get it. We want to welcome those of you who have been watching the San Diego-Oakland game on NBC. Along with Paul Maguire, I'm Stu Nahan at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City, where we've had a wild one. It was 20-0 Cleveland early in the 3rd quarter. Kansas City came back under rookie quarterback Steve Fuller and took a 24-20 lead late in the 4th quarter. Cleveland then went 76 yards. Here is the last 4th down pass by Steve Fuller as Kansas City, with a last gasp effort after dropping behind 27-24. Henry Marshall going up in the air on a 4th down play, couldn't come down with the ball. After Kansas City had taken a 4-point lead, 24-20, Cleveland marched down the field, 76 yards, 8 plays, and a 21-yard touchdown throw from Brian Sipe to Reggie Rucker, who made a great catch in the end zone, and that put Cleveland up by 3, 27-24. Kansas City could not pick up any yardage on their 4 downs, and on that last play you just saw, it was a high pass from Fuller to Henry Marshall. We'd like to remind you folks who are watching our telecast on the East Coast that you will see in its entirety the wonderful world of Walt Disney, the absent-minded professor, in color on NBC, following the completion of our NBC NFL football coverage this afternoon. We see now Sam Rutigliano, the head coach of the Cleveland Browns, who has had quite a dramatic afternoon, having a 20-point lead, dropping back by a few points, 4, and then regaining it. Now it is Cleveland's ball. All they got to do is run out the clock. 25 seconds to go. 1st and 10 Browns. They've got 1 timeout left, and the ball is just fallen upon back there by Sipe, and I don't think they'll have to put the ball into play. 20 seconds. Kansas City's got 2 timeouts left, but there's no sense. Now they call timeout. They stop it with 14 seconds. The Chiefs spend their 2nd timeout. So, we have had one whale of a ball game here, Paul Maguire. We've seen a young rookie come in as quarterback for Kansas City and put on quite a show as we look at Marv Levy, the head coach of the Chiefs, in his 2nd year.
Well, they've booed Mike Livingston here for an awful long time, the quarterback, Kansas City. They dropped an awful lot of balls this afternoon. He threw a couple of bad passes.
All right,
but then they put Fuller in, and this kid has just won the job.
Sipe balls on the ball again, 10 seconds, and the clock is moving. And now they stop the clock one more time with 5 seconds to go. The Chiefs spend their last timeout. So, Cleveland.